All right, we're live, guys. We're live. So, Matt, you want to tell everybody what we're here to do tonight?
Yeah, I'll tell everybody what we're here to do. I recently attended a so-called hearing back on October 15th of this year, 2023. I was seized by a Crow Wing County Sheriff's deputy as well as a field training officer because this deputy was a real rookie. And I just want to note here on a citation that he wrote me. He wrote me a citation for failing to stop for a stop sign on State Highway 371 and Woida Road in Baxter. Okay. First of all, there are no stop signs on State Highway 371 and Woida Road in Baxter. All right. And you know,
Yeah, the facts are on the moon, though, right? The facts are on the moon.
Yeah. So I brought this up, right? Right away. Well, the first thing I did, the citation was issued on the 15th of October. The first thing I did was the 20th of October, I went back into the sheriff's office and I attempted to give them the citation back. I wrote rejected on the citation. I reject the contract, and I attempted to give it to the sheriff. And the sheriff wouldn't take it. They took a copy of it and said that they would forward it to who it needed to be forwarded to. And of course, it never ended up in anybody's file, the rejected citation to begin with, 5 days after the citation is issued, right? You have 30 days to request a court hearing. Okay, so a court hearing was required, even though the citation was effed up royally. A court hearing was still required, and in the meantime, I'm appealing to the sheriff. Look, this citation, there's no stop sign there, for one thing. And the sheriff wasn't listening. It got forwarded on to an attorney. And finally, my 30 days was approaching. So I called the court administrator to ask for a court hearing, because if you don't pay the fine or you don't schedule a court hearing within 30 days in Minnesota, there'll be a warrant put out for your arrest, even though what I'm being accused of is not even a crime.
Yeah, that's real bullshit how they do that, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I have different state statutes and different state rules here in Minnesota, and it literally says a petty misdemeanor is not a crime. And so the citation was written out for failing to stop for a stop sign. There's not even a stop sign there. And even if there was, they're not alleging that I committed a crime. Okay. And I asked for a probable cause hearing on the 14th of November. So the citation was issued 10/15. I asked for a probable cause hearing on 11/14. And you have 30 days from the day that it's filed. Okay, so this thing wasn't filed until the 25th. Keep in mind that the October 25th, keep in mind that's 5 days after I went and tried to give the sheriff the citation back, and they wouldn't accept the rejected citation. 5 days later, it's filed with the court on 10/25. So I have 30 days from that date to set up a hearing. 11/14, which was 21 days later, I requested a probable cause hearing. Crow Wing County Court Administrator denied me a probable cause hearing and set the alleged matter for arraignment. Okay. Are you seeing anything wrong with this so far, guys?
Yeah, a lot.
Such as?
Oh, well, they're calling it it's not a criminal matter, so they don't have to play by the rules, but the threat is, of course, robbing you, kidnapping you, extorting more money out of you.
So I had not committed a crime, yet I'm required to schedule a court hearing within 30 days of when this is filed. Even though they're not alleging I committed a crime, there will be a warrant put out for my arrest if I don't schedule a court hearing within 30 days of when it's filed or pay the fine.
Yeah, how the hell did an obligation get attached to you if you haven't been convicted of a crime?
I haven't even been accused of a crime, let alone convicted
Oh,
of a crime.
yeah, right.
And so 3 days after I asked for the probable cause hearing on the 14th, and they denied me and set the matter for arraignment, this attorney, I'm sorry, 1 day after I asked for that, this attorney signs off on a statement of probable cause. 2 days after that, the complainant signs off on it. So the attorney signed off on it 2 days before the complainant even signed off on this statement of probable cause.
Are you familiar with Voyar? Is it Voyar Dire or something like that? It's VOIRDIRE. You'll have to forgive me, my Latin sucks, but the attorney can't be, counsel and a witness at the same time. You could take it all the way back to Trinzi and Pagliaro if you wanted to. He's not. They're not allowed to enter shit into evidence, for fuck's sake. Like, where's the person with any firsthand knowledge?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Simply put, yeah, he has no standing. Trinsley versus Pagliaro, an attorney can't testify.
I'm gonna work.
Right.
I'm gonna work backwards on this complaint.
Well, see, here's the thing. Sometimes you have to remind that judge, man, right off the bat, that you're aware that he has two jobs. He can determine the evidence. Determine the evidence in accordance with the rules of law, and then take the facts as they come to him and apply the law to them as he sees fit. You know what I mean? That's it. He's a finder of fact. Right. He's a finder of fact. They can't do things like fucking move the court to do this or do that. That attorney can't fucking say shit. He doesn't have any firsthand knowledge. Doesn't have any fucking firsthand knowledge. He can't speak. He can shut the fuck up or he can get sworn in. You know what I mean?
I hear you, Bleak. And let me tell you where this alleged matter came from. Okay. So first it comes from a deputy that seizes me with no reasonable articulable suspicion of criminal activity. All right. So it comes from this deputy, AKA witness. All right. To this alleged non-crime. All right. Then you need a complainant. Okay. Listen to this statement by the complainant. Now, keep in mind, this complainant has been in 2 or 3 of my videos and he's looked awful goofy. It's Captain Adam Cronstead from the Crow Wing County Sheriff's Office. It says statement of probable cause. So this is a statement of probable cause. The complainant states that the following facts establish probable cause. Your complainant is a peace officer in the state of Minnesota. That doesn't establish probable cause. And makes this complaint based upon the reports and information provided by Deputy Aiden Bartles, employed by the Crow Wing County Sheriff's Office. That doesn't establish probable cause. Please take notice. Pursuant to Minnesota Statute 60949, intentional failure to appear for duly scheduled court appearance may result in additional criminal charges. Now it's duly scheduled only because they threatened me with arrest if I didn't schedule one within 30 days. That's the only reason it's duly scheduled. So I don't schedule one. I don't have a duly scheduled court appearance to attend, but I have a warrant if I don't pay the fine. Are you following me?
Yeah, they'll arrest you, they're saying.
That does not establish probable cause. And
No.
in addition to any arrest warrant that may otherwise be issued by the court, that doesn't establish any probable cause. Here's the only statement he makes in the statement of probable cause. On October 15th, 2023, at approximately 1:05 a.m., Deputy Bartles was traveling northbound on Highway 371, approaching Excelsior Road. Wait a minute. The citation says Woida Road, 371 in Woida, which is nearly a mile north of this Excelsior Road that it says in the statement of probable cause.
He doesn't even know what probable cause is. He clearly demonstrated that.
When he observed a white minivan traveling northbound in the left lane and failing to stop at the indication of a traffic control signal with the steady red light. So he said that she said that he said he failed to stop at the indication of a control signal with the steady red light. Deputy Bartles caught up with the vehicle. And if you guys have seen my dash cam, I go through the dash cam. Deputy Bartles busts through the red light at 371 in Excelsior, jacks it up to 84 and a 50, and lights me up as I'm turning left onto Woida from 371, and says, and performed a traffic stop, aka seizure, at which time the driver was identified as, the defendant in the matter, and he was advised of the reason for the stop and was issued a citation. So I was advised for the reason of the stop and issued a citation for running that stop sign a mile north of where this story even takes place.
Yeah, but there's no probable cause.
If I could just for a second, you're aware that when he stops you and he asks for your driver's license, that he's asking you for your credit card, right? Credit card is any kind of license or plate, any kind of card, any kind of coupon book, anything like that that gives any kind of information that can be used to access your credit, including your driver's license and your license plate. So right there, you take it to TIGTA, the Office of the Treasury Inspector General, or you take it to the IRS's Financial Crimes Unit. It's called FINRA or FinCEN. That's the Financial Crimes Unit for the International Monetary Fund. It's FINCEN. You take it to any of those places and just it's like the 3949. I think if you turn in a 3949A and you can even do it online, and you tell them that the people refuse to give them their W-9, provide their W-9 or their tax identification information, then that triggers an instant fucking shit list inspection. You know what I mean? So there's ways that you can really fucking fist these people, and you can start with things like a Form 56, a fiduciary form. You know what I'm saying? Get them to fill out the top half of a 1080 or Form 8. I think it's 1800. I'll have to check. But there's tons and tons of ways that you can get on top of these guys just with the tax. They're doing securities fraud. So you call them, you report them to the FTC, the SEC. You report them to, like I said, to TIGTA, to the Office of the Inspector General, Treasury Inspector General, and so on and so forth, man. And watch them not get back with you. You tell them these people are doing fucking securities fraud. They've taken your private information and they're making this shit. First off, they're dragging your ass into the public. Who the fuck is to say that you even exist in the public, man? You know what I mean? If I was you, I would be putting everything in trust really fast and getting that shit off into the private, where they have to see you in chambers, in camera, in equity. No,
here's the thing, Bleak. You said, did he give him your driver's license? And just a couple, 3 weeks or so ago, you guys might have seen the video. I was seized by a state trooper who asked for my ID, and I didn't give him a driver's license. He threatened to arrest me, and I gave him my name and date of birth, but I didn't give him a driver's license.
That's a big problem, the driver's license,
He issued me a warning for speeding anyways. even though I didn't give him a driver's license.
When was that? Before or after this
After
incident we're talking about here?
After. So you can imagine my heart's jumping up. Now I'm sure you guys are facing, you know, higher crimes than I am. I mean, it's not even a crime. It's a petty misdemeanor, but nothing bothers me more than this stuff. Nothing. You know what I mean?
I have.
I've kind of got it in my world. I've got it to where I'm not facing shit. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers are the ones that watch me, not the other way around. You know what I mean? I'm avoided. Yeah.
You're in a great position, man, you know, to fight that to the death because, you know, it's not a serious thing, you know, that, you know.
Well, I mean, I've got different ideas of how this should happen, man. I think that we should beat this shit from the inside. Personally, I think that this starts with stuff like us rescinding our votes. You know what I mean? Knowing when and how to do these things, recalling these people for, you know, do you guys know what an AO91 is?
I unregistered myself to vote years ago, probably 10 years ago.
You should look into AO91, man. This shit is invaluable. It's a federal criminal complaint, and if you do it correctly, man, want to know, like Kirk and Derek and them boys are like 9 for 9 with somebody still sitting in, with a judge still sitting in fucking jail. You know what I mean, with their federal criminal complaints. So the place to look into this stuff would be at kirkslawcorner.com. You know,
so that's the thing. That's the thing, Bleak. I didn't want to mess with the judge on this deal. You know what I mean? It's not a criminal matter. I never wanted to see a judge.
Yes, save that one, right?
I mean, I appealed to the deputy.
You're not messing with them. You're not messing with anybody. These people are doing tax evasion and tax fraud. They're doing securities fraud. They're fucking breaking their oaths, and that's treason. That's fucking treason. I mean, from where I sit, sir, an attack on you and your rights is a fucking attack on me and my rights. I mean, if you don't want to move forward with the criminal complaint, then just fucking have some witnesses forward that can verify some kind of testimony to what's going on here, man. That's the way you beat this shit. Is people can make third-party private criminal complaints. You know.
So get this. It's not okay. So the 6th Amendment of the Constitution says, in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial. All right. They give you that in petty misdemeanor cases, by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed. They don't give you that because it's not a criminal prosecution and no crime happened. Which district shall have previously ascertained by law and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation. They don't give you that because the whole precursor to the 6th Amendment is in all criminal prosecutions. An hour before I go to this so-called court hearing, I talked to this attorney and I said, I've been asking you since day one, what is the nature of this charge? And he said it was a criminal charge. And I said, all right, dude, you know, and we go to this so-called court hearing and I asked him in front of the judge. I asked him in front of the judge what the nature of the what the nature and cause of the accusation is. And he defers to the judge. I mean, I can play this video. Should we play a little bit of this video? And see what
get started, because we're going to want to pause it a bunch of times to talk about, you know, what happened there. Because
sure. And I'll make full disclosure. I start this video 5 seconds in because it says my full first, middle, and last name. I'm sure
it's on your channel, man.
A lot of people know it already, but I just care to not spout it out as much as possible, you know. So I'm starting this video. This is a 15-minute and 57-second video, so it's 16 minutes. So I started at 5 seconds right after they call my name. Okay, let's take a listen.
Counsel could identify himself for the record, please. Reporter, prosecuting attorney for the city of Baxter. All right, Mr. Cinda is present, and can you hear us?
I can.
Good. And this is somewhat different than other matters you may have heard, in the fact this is a petty misdemeanor, and so there's no entitlement to a public defender in this matter. But I will ask you if you wish to have time to seek private counsel to help you in this matter, or are you going to continue to represent yourself?
Are you going to continue to represent yourself? Like, would you like to continue in this matter? You know what I mean?
That's a trick right there. That is a trick there. You know, but because either answer there's a name for a question like that. Either answer
who is
you're
you?
Agreeing that you
who is
have
you?
already
What's the
said
definition
that you
of continue?
yourself, you know?
Who is you? Who is you? What's the definition of continue? What's the definition of matter?
Right.
Let's start right there. Let's start right there. Who the fuck is you? Who the fuck is you? You is a plural. I'm surely not you. I don't see any baby sheep in here. Who is you?
Right. And so Bleak, I get it. I get it. If you're, you know, but you have to understand, first I appeal it to the deputy, he doesn't rescind it. Then I appeal to the sheriff, he doesn't rescind it. Then I try to work on this attorney, he doesn't drop it.
Well, and then address the style, address the action, the style. Like, who the fuck is state of? Who the fuck is a municipality of? Who the fuck is any of these people, man? Under the Bills of Middlesex, dude, this has to do with the fucking security and the rights and the fucking freedom and the law of the land of the king.
You know what I'm saying? This guy introduced himself as city attorney of Baxter. He didn't.
That's great. Who has no firsthand knowledge, right? So fucking bam, right there. And then so bar grieve that motherfucker, and then hit him for look here. He's in commerce using a false and fictitious fucking what's it called? God damn it, appellation or whatever. Like using the middle name with an initial. He's not using his actual name in business and commerce in a legal matter, dude. That's a crime. That's a felony. That's a felony. And then fucking so you tell the judge that if he's gonna fucking testify for this dude, that he's practicing from the fucking bench, and you hit them both with bar grievances, and you hit them with both with criminal complaints. No, check it out, dude. You hit them with criminal complaints, AO91s and private criminal complaints and fucking bar complaints, and you put a fucking claim out on their bonds. Put a claim out on their fucking bonds. You send all this shit to the fucking Navy JAG. And the reason why the Navy and not the Army or anything like that is because the Army's only here because of the I can't remember the fucking the bill. The Navy is constitutional. We shall have a Navy. We shall not have a standing Army. You know what I'm saying? Not in peacetime, not in wartime. Yeah. America wasn't supposed to have an Army. So and Jason would know better about this, and surely he'll be able to drop into the comments and fucking set it straight. You said the Judge Advocate General. The Navy JAG is the Judge Advocate General. This is how you get marshals involved. Marshals going and fucking raiding goddamn courthouses and arresting fucking judges. And this is what I'm saying. Like, Kirk and them are 9 for 9. I think 10 for 10 now with their complaints, man. So this is a real deal.
You're way beyond where most viewers are gonna be. You know what I mean? The majority.
Why? If the guy at McDonald's fucks up your change, you don't go back in there bitching?
Sure,
if the dude at the fucking store sells you a fucking medium-sized suit, like when you ask for a large, you don't fucking make sure that motherfucker goes back to unpacking the shit and not selling them? Sure. Like, put this motherfucker on freight.
So 40 seconds.
We need to hold these motherfuckers accountable. Sorry, gentlemen. I yield.
40 seconds in, obviously there's some things that you would have said that I didn't say. You know what I mean?
Let's go to that court hearing, like, about what was said there, and and what you said, and
you want me to start it? You want me to start it over, or should we just continue from where we're at? So far we have a guy that introduces himself as the city attorney of Baxter when state of Minnesota is the plaintiff. All right. So does he even represent the state of Minnesota fictitious plaintiff? I
found that out that, they use that, the people of the state, but it's really the state's not involved in it at all. It's these municipalities and, the town attorney or the city attorney. What gives them jurisdiction over you?
I'll say one more thing before we start here. These prosecuting attorneys or whatever, where it starts, okay, and they're also the weak link in the fucking armor here because they're just attorneys, and you can hit these motherfuckers with bar grievances, and it makes their goddamn their indemnities insurance skyrocket. You do them 3 times in a year, they lose their fucking license. But anyways, This asshole goes to the IRS of Puerto Rico and he opens a $500,000 bond in your fucking name with your fucking securities. You know what I'm saying? And you don't get any dividends, debentures, derivatives, rights, profits, proceeds, tangibles, general intangibles, general tangibles, none of that. Profits, debentures, none of that shit. So they've already started a trust action and they're trying to name you as a trustee, man. When really you could just say, man, the fucking trustees are known, the beneficiary's present, man. Who's going to bring forth the fucking check to issue the fucking securities here? You know what I'm saying? There are no facts in dispute. There are no facts in dispute before this court. There are no facts in dispute before this court because there's nobody there to testify against you. No fucking man. So there are no facts in dispute before the court. I waive all rights without God. All rights. Without recourse, without God. Bam. That's it.
I'm gonna play this video from the beginning again and go ahead and listen through for a little bit here.
So to identify himself for the record, please. Reporter, prosecuting attorney for the city of Baxter. All right, and Mr. Zinda is present, and can you hear us?
I can.
Good. And this is a somewhat different than other matters you may have heard in the fact this is a petty misdemeanor, and so there's no entitlement to a public defender in this matter, but I will ask you if you wish to have time to seek private counsel to help you in this matter, or are you going to continue to represent yourself?
All right, pause it.
I will continue to represent myself. Okay, that's where we paused it last time.
All right, you said you're going to continue to.
And I said I'm going to
So
continue.
you acknowledge that you already had established that you were representing yourself prior to that.
Yep, and I'm going to continue.
That's a trick question.
That is a trick question.
Right off the bat, it's not a big deal.
I didn't realize it right away after. Now you'll hear this next part. And as soon as he says this next part, I realized that I just got tricked. All right.
All right. Yeah, that's okay, man. It's not the end of the world. That's how you learn, man.
No, after I say yes, I'll continue to represent myself. Listen to what the judge says. Listen to this.
Thank you. All right, go ahead.
All right. And Mr. Porter, Mr. Zinda, how would you wish to proceed, man?
How would you wish to proceed? After he says, would you like to continue to represent yourself?
Yeah, those are both trick questions. Trick questions.
And he went to Porter. He went to the attorney and he said, because normally you'd be like, all right, guy, make your case. You know what I mean? But he doesn't. He comes back directly to me and says, all right, how would you like to continue?
Yeah, that's another trick. See,
that's when you ask if you'll continue by finding out who's in charge of the fucking excise tax. Who's responsible for the excise tax here, man? You know what I mean?
No,
these are just words that these guys fucking cower from this shit, man. They're just words. I'm telling you. And anybody, like I found them in under a year.
You're talking about 1 to 2% of the population are going to say what you said, Bleak. But listen to what I said.
Hang on.
I guarantee you got to stick to a couple things. Understand why I say it.
I'm going to back that up just a few seconds.
You got to stick to a couple things on that, man. And, but those trick questions, he said, are you going to continue to represent yourself? So if you said yes or no, you acknowledge, you're continuing, that you already were before that. And then the other question, what's the alternative to that? When a judge says, do you wish to continue to represent yourself? How are you supposed to answer a question like that? Continue what? Right? I mean,
continue. Yeah, I told you that's your opportunity. That's your opportunity. That's what I'm trying to say. Right there was your opportunity to fucking pounce. The last thing these guys are suspecting is anybody to fucking come at them like I'm talking. But I'm telling you, try it one fucking time and you'll understand why there's that.
You gotta stick to a couple things, man. Even one thing,
fucking Derek talks this way.
From the very beginning, that you gain some courtroom experience. Just keep it simple, man. If you got 20 different strategies when you go in there, man, I think it's best to, write them all down, but then stick to it. Just a couple things. Like I decided I wasn't going to.
Those taxes, where at, man? You ask me who's responsible for the excise tax. The taxes, that's no joke. It's no. I promise you. It's
that's what I went in here.
That's
That's what I went in here knowing, Chris. I knew that they seized me without reasonable articulable suspicion of criminal activity. And what I was trying to find out was, in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation. So that's what I'm trying.
Not only that, you have the right to see the charging instrument. There has to be a genuine bill of fucking indictment in front of me, man. You know what I'm saying?
For indictment, that's one thing I said that too, and they didn't like it, man. It hemmed them up. It didn't stop it, but going to court. That was one of the ones I stuck to is the service of process. Where's the indictment? Haven't been informed of the nature and cause.
So the charging instrument, let's go back to that for a second. I've been told that the citation and the complaint is the charging instrument.
Is it a complaint from the district attorney?
No.
A verified complaint?
No.
Is it sworn to? Is it sworn verified complaint?
Yes, it's sworn by the captain of the sheriff's office, who is the deputy that issued the citation supervisor.
Change that when I come back with it. Hey, I'll be right back.
Yep. And it was signed 2 days after the prosecuting attorney signed it, saying that he's authorized to prosecute the offenses charged. Now, one of the things, let's keep in mind that before this, I wrote 2 affidavits of return of documents to source of origin. So I took your advice, Chris, and I wrote those affidavits. And I sent the citation back to the sheriff's office, and I sent the statement of probable cause back to the captain that wrote it. And one of my questions for this prosecuting attorney is, it says being authorized to prosecute the offenses charged. They'll never call it a crime. They'll call it an offense. They'll call it a violation. They'll call it an infraction. They'll call it anything but the crime charged. Being authorized. Who authorized you to prosecute the offenses charged?
That's a lot of words to look up in a Black's Law dictionary, Do you have one?
No, I don't, but I'm familiar.
You gotta get one.
I'm familiar with the language.
Yeah, a lot of those words, you'd be surprised what they mean.
So when I sent this complaint back, one of my questions was, who authorized you to prosecute the offense charged?
Yeah, who authorized it? Good question.
It just says being authorized to prosecute the offenses charged. Well, who authorized you to do it?
They're assuming jurisdiction. That's, authority.
Right.
Authorized. Authorized by who?
And you'll see it in this. Let me play a little bit more of this video, would you?
No, yeah, well, I wanted to say about, before you move on, about representing yourself. That's a trick, and I fell for it too at first. Because if you know not to take their public defender, then they go right to the trick of, oh, okay, so you're gonna represent yourself then, and that's a trick, because that's not what you want to do at all, because then you're playing 2 roles in the court. The defendant, you're taking that role, and the guest attorney,
right,
who doesn't be held to the standard of a member of the bar association, like an attorney standard. So that's another trick. Everything, single thing that they've said, is a trick. So
I realize that now. I realize that now, but after the judge says, he says, Mr. Porter, because that's usually when a judge says, go ahead and make your case, but he doesn't. He switches back to me and he says, how would you like to continue? Since he said, would you like to continue to represent yourself? Okay, how would you like to continue? He said.
What you should have said is, I'm not representing myself. I'm in propria persona. But if you got, the idea is to not even go there. But as far as that question goes, that's what I did. And what you said, how would you like to proceed with this?
Yes, he said, would you like to continue to represent
Oh,
yourself? I said, yes, I'd like to continue to represent myself. He says, Mr. Porter. And then he goes, or you, how would you like to continue? Since you said you wanted to continue to represent yourself, how would you like to continue? Here's how I responded.
How would I wish to proceed?
Yes.
Oh, I actually had a question for Mr. Porter. Is this a criminal prosecution?
I said, I have a question for Mr. Porter, the attorney. Is this a criminal prosecution? Because I know the Sixth Amendment says in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to, the list goes on. So I said, Mr. Porter, is this a criminal prosecution? And I'm asking the attorney. You follow?
Yeah. Yeah, I follow you.
Now listen to what this flying ball attorney does.
I guess I don't understand.
Mr. Zinda, we've had this conversation over and over again prior to this hearing. This matter is now set on for an arraignment. Your Honor, I would request that the court advise Mr. Zinda of his charges, advise him of his rights, and that we get this matter set on for a court trial.
So he's still not answering the question on the record. Is this a criminal?
They do that stuff every day too. They'll just try to, get some bullshit. We already told you. You need everything in writing. Tell them. And yeah, he challenged the that he had en personam jurisdiction. There's no proof of that, and then yeah, we'll get to that later. But
so yeah, I asked him. I said, attorney, is this a criminal prosecution? And he goes, Your Honor, would you inform him of his charges? So he defers to the judge.
Yeah, we already told him. We already told him, he's saying.
And so here's what the judge says after he defers to the judge.
Okay. Mr. Zinda, you are charged with a petty misdemeanor. A petty misdemeanor traffic offense. Because of that, you have a right to a trial, but you have a right for a trial to a judge only.
Trial to a judge. Trial to a judge only. That's not what it says in the Sixth Amendment.
Examine the against you.
Trial by a judge only. That's not even a thing. They're talking a bench trial, but trial by only a judge. I don't think that's
But see, I'm listening for the words criminal prosecution because I know this term in all criminal prosecutions. My Sixth Amendment rights should be intact. So I'm trying to get them to say, is this a criminal prosecution or is this not a criminal prosecution? So the judge continues.
The witness says that you want to bring one, cooperate. You can use the court's subpoena power to gain their attendance. And if you are wishing to set the matter for trial, we can set the matter for trial. I am aware of the fact that you have filed or have submitted a kind of a laundry list, and it sort of looked to me like it was sort of on the citation and kind of on the back of an envelope, and where you raised a number of things and sent it to a whole lot of people. If you want a trial, we'll set it for trial. If you want to challenge the jurisdiction of the state or make any other challenges, they'll have to be done in a little more formal than being written on the citation. And a hearing would be held prior to that trial to address those issues. But once those issues were addressed, the matter would go to trial.
So what's he saying there? He's saying that I wrote an informal affidavit. Well, the written on citation and the written on statement of probable cause that I sent back was accompanied with a very formal affidavit, a return of documents to source of origin,
Yeah.
And I had a list of questions for all of these actors, the deputy, the complainant, who's the captain, and the prosecuting attorney.
Yeah, well, you should have went there with they're trying to roll forward. They want to roll forward on bullshit.
Now you should have kneecapped that prosecuting attorney by this point, man. You should be going after that fucking judge by this point, man. I'm telling you, like, seriously, that prosecuting attorney can't say shit. He can't say shit. He's got no firsthand knowledge, and like I'm saying, that motherfucker's going to be up to his goddamn eyeballs and fucking IRS agents fucking investigating his ass and all kinds of tax fraud and evasion charges. But I mean, before we even get to that, dude, like, just address that fucking gold fringe flag behind that judge, man. Either that thing is there because this is a military tribunal and that judge is going to follow his oath of office and he's going to fucking charge that dude across from you with malfeasance and fucking obstruction and witness tampering, or it's a fucking war trophy and he's a fucking enemy of the state. You know what I mean? Which one is it? You don't fucking answer any of his questions, man. There's no asking who? Fucking who? Nobody's asking me shit. They can ask you all they want. You isn't gonna fucking answer. You isn't a thing. This motherfucker across from me is doing tax fraud and securities fraud. You know what I mean? He's involved the fucking IRS with it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm coming off as crass, but like, all you got to do is a small bit of reading, man. Just even in the UCC, which is what they're trying to they're going to function under the UCC unless you drag them off into statutory territory. But I mean, even then, what the fuck, dude? Produce the body, man. Who the fuck is the claimant? If there is no claimant, there's no meeting of the minds, and all we're here to discuss is this fucking securities fraud that's going on. That's it. Maybe the tax evasion on top of it.
There's no the plaintiff isn't there. Where's the plaintiff?
The plaintiff's not there.
Right. Yeah, there's just a bunch of people standing there holding my fucking private non-public information that they have sold on the fucking market.
There's so many things, though, you guys, that you can find.
Yeah, but I am not a fucking accommodation party to some fucking decedent estate. I'm not an accommodation party to some fucking decedent estate. If they want the decedent estate, they can fucking have the decedent estate. But they're going to pay the fucking excise tax because it's due on a fucking carryover basis.
Man, boom, but you can't go in there with 20 strategies, man. If you're going into that courtroom,
you got not 20 strategies. It's one. It's been one the whole time. Who the fuck is you? What is the definition of charge? For fuck's sake. And then who's paying the fucking excise tax on this goddamn shit? And who's writing me a check for the fucking dividends? Like, nah, man, they're trying to fucking patsy around whether or not you're in an Article 1 court or an Article 3 court, or whether or not you're fucking, your rights to a jury trial and all that, or a trial by jury, or being respected. Fuck that, man. You don't let it go that far. These people are just people, and they're doing fucking fraud. And one of these days, this little thing that's composed of fucking bubblegum and shoestring that's just barely held together is going to crush under the weight of its own fucking retardation. And I'm tired of being I am a guy that's this size, dying of cancer. And I've got the balls to say this shit. And nobody else has the balls to even entertain the fucking thought. What happened in 2020, man? They made all the fighting age men go home and fucking lock themselves up over the flu. And we forgot about our freedoms and fucking we came back out with purses and fucking skirts. Fuck that judge, dude. He's a goddamn administrative law clerk. He's got fucking rules. He's got an oath of office. He's got fucking corporate charters and bylaws and he's got to follow. He has to follow these fucking things. You don't have to follow that shit. It doesn't take anything to fucking know this shit. You just look it up and you fucking know it. And you go in there and you say, hey, I'll be wearing your fucking socks by the end of this.
By now,
he's trying to beat this, this traffic ticket. And show other people that it can't be.
It's a great place to start. That guy has no fucking firsthand knowledge and he's got no claimant.
Right. So
there's no charging instrument.
If you're going to the courtroom, you decide to go there. I can understand that. But the idea would be to put some things on and put something on paper and send it to them right away.
My number one goal.
I yield. That's right.
And you're right, Chris. And my number one goal this whole time was I need to get them to say on record what the nature and cause of this accusation is.
Right. You're to that point, man. They got you roped into it.
I need to know if this is a criminal prosecution and my 6A rights are intact, or if it's not a criminal prosecution and the Sixth Amendment is just a boat anchor, or a waste.
That's a good thing to stick on, man. And there's so many things, so many problems with what's going on. But if you're already in the courtroom, you know, like you are, you got to stick on the same thing, because they'll change the subject on you, you know, and you start out with your strongest stuff that you had, you know, going in there. And if they change the subject, you know, you might be inclined to like go to the next problem that you see with the whole thing.
I do believe I did.
You know, they'll get you off topic.
I do believe I did stick to the subject. Let's listen to what happens next, should we?
Okay, cool.
I actually, what kind of got skipped over, I guess, is I'm concerned about my right to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation.
So I asked the prosecutor. He said, "Judge, explain it to him." The judge explains it to me. And he skips over the accused shall enjoy the right to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation. And I'm looking at it because I have it underlined on my paper. You know what I mean? That's all I'm going for is this a criminal prosecution? And if it is, I need to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation. That's all I'm going for here. You know, he goes through this Sixth Amendment and he skips right over informed of the nature and cause of the accusation because he knows that's where I'm going. So I bring the subject right back to the nature and cause of the accusation.
And the nature of the accusation is a failure to stop for traffic control device.
Have you ever heard of such a nature? The nature of the accusation is a failure to stop for a traffic control device. Well, is that a criminal or a civil matter, you know, or an administrative matter, or what?
It doesn't answer the question. They're great at that. You know, you listen to their responses later, because it's hard to be on your toes for, you know, every question, everything they say is tricky.
But they're still not throwing me off because I know that's not a nature.
Right. You got to go right back to it. Like they say, click, like Dorothy clicked her heels 3 times, and like the Wizard of Oz, you got to say it 3 times to them. I've heard that.
But no, I asked the prosecutor. He defers to the judge. And so I asked the judge, hey, you kind of skipped over this nature and cause of the accusation, right?
Yeah, it's cool the way you talk, man. You get, you know, you're calm, and with the Minnesota lingo there.
And so
you know, yeah, they just dodge the question or they change the subject, right?
He says the nature is a traffic violation running a red light. You know, again, the citation wasn't written for that. Let's continue.
0.5A 3I.
Okay, is it a criminal matter that
petty misdemeanor? Petty misdemeanor is not a crime in the state of Minnesota.
Petty misdemeanor is not a crime in the state of Minnesota. You just heard the judge say it. I got him to say it.
Right. Yeah, he said that. Yeah.
I'll play it one more time. I mean, plain as day. Plain as day.
If it's not a crime, then where's the plaintiff?
Listen to this.
6.5A 3I.
Okay, is it a criminal matter that
petty misdemeanor? Petty misdemeanor is not a crime in the state of Minnesota.
A petty misdemeanor is not a crime in the state of Minnesota.
Then who's the plaintiff? Where's the contract?
Let's hear what he says next.
It is not punishable by incarceration. No.
I guess that's where I'm confused, Your Honor. I mean, I'm not trying to be difficult. I really am not. I just, if the prosecutor is taking, it is criminally prosecuting, I guess I just don't understand how the alleged offense that he is prosecuting is not criminal in nature, and so I guess I don't.
Because the Minnesota legislature made it. It doesn't.
Now, what I meant to say is, since the alleged offense is not criminal in nature, how is it that the prosecutor is criminally prosecuting? That's what I meant to ask. But I said, how is it I worded the question weird. And the judge said, well, it's because the legislator made it not a crime. And I'm like, I know that. You know what I mean? But I asked the question weird. Listen to that again. He's waiting for him. He's waiting for an opportunity here.
I guess I just don't understand how the alleged offense that he is prosecuting is not criminal in nature, and so I guess I don't.
Because the Minnesota legislature made it. They designated certain violations, particularly traffic violations, as being petty misdemeanors rather than misdemeanors, which are crimes in the state of Minnesota.
Well, that's when you ask them what jurisdiction that they're operating under. Then it's a civil matter.
Let's listen.
I would definitely understand if I was being charged with a misdemeanor, that I would be charged with a crime. I'm having difficulty with the petty misdemeanor being prosecuted as a crime. It's
not being prosecuted as a crime. It's being prosecuted as a petty misdemeanor.
So this is not a criminal prosecution. The judge.
So that's a petty misdemeanor jurisdiction then? What jurisdiction are they operating under?
Right. It's not being prosecuted as a crime, he said. It's being prosecuted as a petty misdemeanor.
Okay, well, ask him, can you tell him, can they tell you where you can find the rules of a petty misdemeanor jurisdiction court?
Let's see how I responded.
Okay.
And the difference is that you're not entitled to a jury trial. You're not entitled to public defender representation, and you can't be sent to jail. And the maximum fine is capped at, I think they may have raised it to $200, but certainly at one point it was a maximum fine of $100.
They're flabbergasted that you're contesting this ticket. Nobody's ever done it before. They're flabbergasted.
Because the superseding law says in all criminal prosecutions, and I just want to make it clear about whether or not this is a criminal prosecution.
Well, I just told you that it's not. And so, if you want to bring a motion to dismiss because you think that this is being improperly pursued, you can do that. But what we're going to do is we're going to enter not guilty plea for you. We're going to set the matter for a court trial.
All right, Paul.
Then,
if you want to file a motion to say that this matter has been mishandled, you can do that.
You probably should have done that before you even had this hearing, or the emails.
I know it.
For next time, that's why you're learning, man. Nobody can tell you how to do it because nobody's ever done it before,
And I knew once
to contest a ticket problem in the city of Baxter. But next time put one in right away. But demand for dismissal.
I was trying to set it up with the affidavits, and then just ran out of time before this alleged hearing.
Yeah, you're learning it, man, on the fly. And you got to find time to do it, and you're working. But for next time, because that's what this is all about, anyways. Like, what would you do different next time? What'd you learn from it?
Right. And so I wrote those affidavits of return of documents to sender. I returned both the citation and the complaint back to the source of origin. And, I figured maybe the ball was in their court now. I sent these documents back and had questions about them and noted their deficiencies, and never got a response. And all of a sudden this so-called hearing comes up, and of course I'm going to attend it. Otherwise they'll have a warrant out for my arrest. Right.
They got you roped in there now. But there's plenty to challenge, man, and next time put in a demand for dismissal, before any hearing scheduled, and you got, plenty of things to attack.
Would you suggest both the, because I sent in those affidavits for return of documents of the citation and the complaint, you're just saying follow that up with maybe get on that a little sooner.
Yeah, immediately. Next time, immediately. I think you got the papers ready. You could just customize them to the situation, and yeah, send it out right away, because then
when you were talking about sending them affidavits or something, it sounded like you had some kind of administrative process going on. Was this some kind of notice?
Yeah, it was a affidavit.
I would follow up with your administrative process then, man. Definitely don't let that shit fall through. That's everybody's setback with the administrative process is nobody wants to finish the damn thing. It's effective. The pen is the pen is mightier than the sword. Chris is right, man. You can really bury these fucking guys before you even have to go in front of them, and it's not too much more different than what I'm saying. There are rules that they have to follow. There are taxes that they have to pay because they're listen. These people are fucking privately owned, for-profit racketeering firms. They are not government. And so every single one of these motherfuckers has a W-9, they have a TIN, they have tax identification information that they have to provide you when they're doing commerce with you. Otherwise, you can put them in a stopple, like Abraxas's old trick, okay? So if you're trying to fight me, and then you put your hands up, and I say, whoa, and you say, let's get it, man. There's your offer, and I'm saying, whoa, there's my counter, right? Now, if I put my hands up and I say, I'm coming for you, and let's get it, then there's my counter offer is, all right, I've accepted your offer. I have no counter. Let's go. So anything in between, everything is commerce. And if you're doing commerce with me and I'm not comfortable with how you're doing commerce with me in the public, then I'm going to ask you to identify yourself. I need 3 forms of state issued identification, and I need it right now. That way I have somebody I have to be indemnified so that I know that if I'm harmed in the process of doing commerce with you, that I'm indemnified. You know what I'm saying? And they have to provide this
on the side of the road.
Now when they don't give you the ID, they're in estoppel by conduct. It's concealment. Yeah, they can't do that.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. That's on the side of the road.
It's a very fucking powerful tool, but so is the administrative process. You can own somebody's ass with that administrative process.
It could be done later on paper. If you survive the traffic stop, that's a whole different discussion. The traffic stop.
You can always go back and
then you got that thing too. With the threats. But
look into the W4 sandwich shit.
I think it should be done with by paper. I think it could be addressed. And then if you do go to court, the only thing you got to do is you want to know why they haven't responded to your papers that you gave them.
Right.
That's all there is to talk about.
Instead of doing all that shit, why don't we just let the IRS get them for us, and then we can FOIA all of their evidence and use it to get a conviction for ourselves if we want to go criminal. But if we want to get them privately in a civil case, then we can go for damages. There's and then even at that, do you want to get them for torts, for trespass, or do you want to get them for a cause of action? But there's different ways to do this, and so you just look around. You'll find people talking about this shit. We're all over the place. If you don't like what somebody's saying and it doesn't resonate with you, move on. It's that simple.
Sure.
So he's in court now, though. Those are all preliminary strategies and stuff.
Right. I'm already at this hearing, and we're already to this point. You know what I mean? And so
they want to roll forward on bullshit, and you want to
just imagine what a visit from the IRS's criminal investigations department feels like. Now everybody's scared because they employed like 86,000 Marines and gave them fucking rifles or whatever. The IRS. Everybody thinks they're coming for the Patriots or whatever. It's not. No, it's Chris. You've got it right when you say the federal government understands that the states are fucking bloated and they're dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know that. It was just a thought. I don't know that. That was just a thought.
No, I think it's fucking genius. It's genius, dude. And so they're just looking for people like you or I who figure out that they have agents just sitting around waiting for these kind of calls.
I don't know. I'm
And you
about to
think
find
shit
out.
won't change? You think shit won't change fucking
I
immediately?
don't know. I'm going to find out, man. I'm a little apprehensive to make that call too, because you know, just to find out they're just as corrupt, you know, which is what I pretty much expect, you know. But I'm going to find out real soon here.
I've made the call to the FBI Minneapolis field office last year. I actually beat a cell phone ticket. You know, it's against the statute to initiate a communications device while traveling, apparently, or while driving, I guess. While driving, there's a difference between driving and traveling, but while driving, it's illegal, not unlawful, but illegal to initiate a communications device. And then there's some exceptions to that statute. Well, I beat that charge last year, about a year and a half ago. I beat the same prosecutor, the same exact prosecutor that's prosecuting me right now.
How many times did you go to
court? Statutory applies to the fucking people that are owned by or employed by the state. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't beat them through right to travel means. I beat them through they, you know, tampered with dash and body cam evidence, falsified the police report. He knew it, and he knew that I knew it. You know what I mean? And that's it. The charge was dropped for prosecutorial discretion.
But you've heard this. You've heard the saying, like, I'm from this place, not of it, or whatever.
Yeah.
Even to say that they have jurisdiction over you because you were born in birthed in a certain place, or that you quote unquote reside somewhere and have a mailing address with a federally affixed fucking zip code to the end of it, making it a militarized thing. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And I don't want to sound like a sovereign, but it fucking is, dude. And the second that you involve the IRS or somebody like this, even just a Form 56. Like I batted a whole fucking shitload of stuff away with my divorce with just a Form 56. That was the end of the shit. They stopped communicating with me. After that, dude, they didn't even let me know when I had fucking hearings. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm down.
But a couple months ago, though, you're talking about doing interlocutory appeals and shit. You know.
Hang on, guys.
Right.
10% on my phone. I gotta grab a charge card.
All okay. Right. Yeah. So, man, I mean, oppose things in their beginnings to have success against them. The maximum of law, something like that. And
yeah,
that's the idea, man. You know, to repel the attacks. You know, before they even happened. That's, you know, like from the art of war. To avoid even fighting it, but
yes, sir, absolutely.
That's how we're learning, man. You know, he's opposing these tickets. The last one you won, you know, and I don't think it can always be beat, man. I don't think you can lose if you don't give up. You know,
man. High frequency radio, dude. I heard USFL saying something on creditors and their bonds, and it was on the first episode of it. About halfway through, he's talking about motherfuckers getting people out of prison, and he's like, "Come on, man, like what? Where do you even want me to go with this?" And he's like talking about how motherfuckers get in there, and he says, "So you were driving and you got hemmed up." He's like, "Yeah, but you were sitting there thinking these negative thoughts, and that's what fucking turned his ass onto you." You know what I'm saying? And then nature just followed its course. You were thinking negative thoughts. You were guilty, and it poof, dude, my fucking. It's like when your amygdala fucking explodes, dude. Bow, here I am. You know what I'm saying? And you just come to light and you realize that's just it. When you fucking stand in honor and when you know you're not quote unquote guilty of whatever it is that they're saying, you know what I'm saying? Even at that, man, sure, okay, of the charge, but not the crime. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking what are you even talking about guilty? Like the dude, all they want is money. And they are prone to lie and break their oaths and fucking do all kinds of misconduct all day long. So you just sit there like a wounded animal and wait for them to fuck you over, and then you get them.
That's what I found. They don't have oaths, so they can't break an oath because they intentionally didn't take it.
Right. Well, and it's like you said, it has to be done a certain way by a certain person on a certain form, and yep.
It resembles an oath, but it's not. It's lacking. If you look in my community section, I just put a post up about that. These false oaths.
Yeah, I noticed, Chris, that you would you suggest getting a copy of that oath before this even takes place? I mean, I kind of snoozed a little bit on this one, and I knew that I shouldn't snooze. You know what I mean? I know you got to get on this stuff right away. 5 days after it was issued, I went back into the sheriff's office trying to give it back, you know, and so I'm on
Brother,
this right away.
file an AO-91 and a claim on his goddamn bonds. I'm telling you, dude, under just Title 18, was it 42, 1983? It's 242 and 241. Conspiracy and what? Sedition, fraud, deprivation of rights under color of law. It's a simulation of a legal process. He's using a false artifice and scheme to do a fucking simulation of the legal process. He's doing fraud. That's why there's a fringed flag behind him. Because it is a fucking military tribunal, and they're fucking.
Don't you have to beat the charge first, Bleak?
No, you let the IRS handle the shit. I'm telling you. A real quick fucking watch of the Smoking Baby Jack in the Box video. It's like 2 hours long. 2 hours long, and then you fill out the top part of a W-4 and some of a W-9 or a fucking 1040V or some shit like that, and you send it in with a cover sheet saying, hey man, I don't want to fucking falsify tax documents, so feel free to alter this if I fucked up, you know, and give them a little thumbs up or whatever the fuck, and a smiley face at the bottom, and sign the shit and watch everything change. I'm telling you, and that's because every one of these fucking cases, they're fucking frauds. They're running fucking every one of these through the fucking IRS of Puerto Rico for $500,000. $500,000. That's why it's a charge, because it's a charge on your fucking decedent estate's credit, man. I'm telling you, all of this shit goes back to credit. All of this shit goes back to credit. So if you understand banking, it's almost like reading the Bible and thinking about it like fucking every time it says Lord, think law or relevant to. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, everything is like, the world just starts glitching out in front of you while you fucking take the tray off of everybody's lunch, and their fucking chin hangs open. They'll stare at you with their beating fucking eyes. That's it. They're gone. They're dead. They're zombies. You talk to them like that, and they just fucking lock up, dude.
A few times.
Pardon?
This is like my third crack at these guys. I lost.
No, brother, you'll get it. There's nothing separating you from me except for air and opportunity, my friend.
How did you lose the one that you lost?
I didn't do anything until the arraignment. I just went to the arraignment. And
okay, so this is your second time in court on that?
Yes. Well, yes. This is my second time on court. I just went to the arraignment, and I didn't put up as much of a fight. I didn't object to the arraigning judge entering a plea on my behalf. So, and that's what's happening in this video right now. Is this judge?
You got a plea put in. They rolled forward on you. They snuck it in. You got a plea put in. Jurisdiction self-evident. They're saying.
I'm going to back this up just a few seconds, and he says.
That's what I'm saying, brother. That's a crime. So let's stop right there. That is a fucking crime. That's a fucking crime. That's a fucking crime. He's fucking with your goddamn life force, energy, your time, your freedom, for fuck's sake. I mean, that's constitutional. That's a constitutional question. You could bump that shit up to federal court and hang that motherfucker up by his testicles, dude, with a fucking stapler. You know what I'm saying? Just pop, 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 pop. You know, swing the bottom off of it so you get a little bit of fucking centrifugal force. You know,
I'm not as well versed as you, and I'm going to try to keep it simple for anybody watching.
Yeah, the thing is, you're so polite, brother. Just understand that fucking bark a little. Trust me, you're gonna love the way it sounds. It sounds way better than mine will to you. I fucking promise. Bark a little.
I went in there with one goal, and that's for them to tell me, is this a criminal prosecution? The judge basically just told me, no, it's not. Listen to what he does now.
If you want to bring a motion to dismiss because you think that this is being improperly pursued, you can do that. What we're going to do is we're going to enter a not guilty plea for you. We're going to set the matter for a court trial. You will then have the opportunity to submit a written motion a date will be set for you to argue that motion. The judge will make a decision on the merits of your motion. If you win, you win. If you lose, you go to trial.
I would just, I'm not trying to stop the court from doing anything. I would just object to a trial. Because the nature of the alleged offense is not criminal, and
that's why you need to bring your motion. We're not going to argue a motion today.
Okay.
It needs to be in writing. Mr. Porter needs to be aware of the points you're raising, as does the court, and then it will be argued.
Would you be?
But at some point, somebody's going to make a decision, and it might be in your favor, and it might not. But whatever the decision is that the judge who hears it makes, that's going to be it.
Okay. Would you be willing to give me a few days to file that motion before entering a not guilty plea on my behalf?
No. We're going to set the matter. We're going to set the matter for a court trial, and that will provide. Then you will have to file your motion prior to that trial to have it heard.
So you can see I'm doing everything in my power to try to not get him to enter a plea on my behalf. You know,
we've isolated, you know, the things that should have been stopped, you know, before getting to that point, you know.
Do you understand that the minute that you enter a criminal complaint, the minute that you enter an AO91 or any kind of fucking claim against somebody for any kind of trespass, for a tort, or for a fucking actionable cause, the second that you do that, if they fucking proceed in what they're doing, they are not only fucking guilty of obstruction of your remedy at law, which is I think 5 years if they're a public official, but they're also guilty of fucking witness tampering. So
yeah,
fucking,
man, you're not going to bring that stuff up in the
make a claim against him. Make a claim against him with the IRS. Make a claim against him in the court of law. Make a claim against him in the court of claims. Whatever the fuck you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But make the claim. Make a criminal complaint, man. That's a great place to start, dude. Just like the traffic court. You're in traffic court right now, so it's a small thing. They're not gonna clip you. They're fucking barely gonna fucking do anything to you at all if you do shit. You know, if you stand there and take it.
The one I won last year, I did come back. I filed an officer complaint. Of course, it came back in 2 days, unsustained. You know.
Yeah, but you know what happened, man, is they had to go tell their fucking insurance that somebody had a potential claim against them, and their indemnities bond and their insurance went up. Mm-hmm. You do this shit, and you will bankrupt these fucking places. You'll find, like, look on the Secretary of State's website for your state. Look for your fucking local municipality. Look for your fucking local police department. Look for your sheriff. Look for your sheriff's department. Look for your jail. You will not find these fucking things. You will not fucking find this, because we are under enemy occupation. Gentlemen, there's a foreign fucking army. There's a foreign army that is sitting here domestically and fucking occupying our government, okay? And like, there's not enough fucking EBT SNAP benefits that they could fucking give me in the world where I'm going to stop and let this shit happen any fucking longer. And I don't give a fuck if I have to run for goddamn sheriff, or if I have to fucking sit there and piss at every city council meeting. What I've got to do. What I got to do. They kidnapped my whole fucking family, dude. I've got nothing but time. These motherfuckers are going to burn where I'm at. They're going to burn. Like, you guys can fucking elect different ones for yours. Ours are going to fucking burn.
I've thought about
I hear you, man, but you know, you're not going to bring that up in court. If you're in court, it got to that point already.
Yep. It's
you can't go off on a tangent of 100 different things that they're doing. That, you know, we know it's fraud. You know, we know they're criminals.
And once you start making claims, like you said,
yeah,
Chris,
when has anybody called them out on it? So we know it. What are we doing with that knowledge? That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm suggesting, gentlemen. I'm not sitting here with 100 different fucking. I am rattling off a lot of different forms and shit, and a lot of different offices you can call. But dude, you can take it to TIGTA alone. You can take it to the Office of the Treasury Inspector General and watch those motherfuckers fucking hem these pussies up, and you take your fucking evidence from them.
What papers have you put in lately?
Who am I gonna fucking sue? My baby mama? No, that shit's not happening. We've talked about this on a personal level, dude. I'm not gonna do it, and I don't give a fuck who says what. As far as my mortgage, I paid that shit off with the banker's acceptance, man. Where's my fucking the people coming after me for my car or my house? They're not. They're not. And there won't be. There fucking won't be, because I'll hang them up by their fucking balls because they're doing fraud. I'm sorry, man. They will not come at me because of what I'm fucking doing.
Bleak, since you asked, I'm writing an appeal to a FOIA denial. That's what I was writing.
Why wouldn't you just make a claim? I mean,
for one thing, I just learned a little piece of information is once you file a lawsuit, they're under no obligation to provide you with any information
until discovery. And then it's a whole different fucking ballpark, man. Then you can sit there and goddamn give these motherfuckers depositions and shit. Ooh, boy, I've got a fucking list of questions I'll ask these cocksuckers.
I'm not trying to go to trial, man. That's what we're talking about.
No, neither are they. Neither are they. When you stand where I'm standing, neither are they. They don't want anywhere. So you're like a dude with a pair of fucking nunchucks, man. Like nobody wants to run up on you. It doesn't matter if there's 20 of them.
It's a matter of sticking to your guns, man, and you got to give them some paper. That so-called judge is supposed to only see what's presented there, but they're the ones, they're moving the actions.
And you notice, so once they amended this charge to not a stop sign at 371.
Don't let them call it a charge. And what was another thing?
What's that?
Don't let them call it a charge. That's
right.
One
they amended the matter, the alleged matter to a stop sign at 371 in Woida to a stop light at 371 in Inglewood.
The alleged matter, they could be what, a pile of dog shit?
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's not like I did nothing. I mean, I did file 2 affidavits before this, before this so-called hearing. And I went into this hearing again trying to get clarification on, is this a criminal prosecution? And if so, what is the nature and cause of the accusation? That's all I'm trying to figure out here. And
that's a good one to stick on. Where's the indictment?
And so I'm trying to get this judge to not enter a plea on my behalf. It's not really on your behalf. It's pretty much signing your death wish, right?
Well, here's the thing with that. They'd be practicing law from the bench if they try to enter a plea for you. Or you could say, oh, not guilty. Thank you for that judicial determination. Then you might want to throw it, Your Honor. Can I get a certified copy of that?
There you go. He's got one right there. I mean, if we're talking about avoiding tactics, that's one that, that's one that works. Fuck yeah. The second they enter that goddamn plea, dude, if you're not going to hit them with a criminal complaint, which stops them dead in their tracks. Because like I said, dude, at that point, you could have the bailiff fucking arrest him and watch him do a goddamn chicken dance because he's not going to do it.
I stopped at going to court I didn't let him search my bag. I'm sorry. I don't consent to be searched. I'm not waiving any rights. Stop it in the hallway, but I should have stopped it before I even got to that hallway, Then, that's a good one. The jurisdiction. What jurisdiction are they operating under?
You want to see what happens?
Bailiffs is a 1099 employee.
That's the nature and cause. You want to know what jurisdiction is part of the nature and cause, isn't it?
We're about halfway through this 15-minute video. I'd like to play a little bit more because we're about an hour and 18 into the live.
That's pretty normal, man. That's pretty normal.
At this point, I'm trying to get him to stop. I'm trying to stop him from entering a plea on my behalf, right?
Yeah, that's how you stop him. If he says he is, then say, wouldn't you be practicing law from the bench then?
Well, listen to what I said. I said I'm going to object to it.
Will there be a guarantee that I have a motion hearing prior to? I mean, of course, it depends on my timely filing of the motion, but would it be guaranteed that I would have a motion hearing on that?
I think that it is. If you file a motion, I think the court will schedule a motion hearing, as you say, if it's filed in a timely manner. If you have a trial date on a Wednesday and file your motion on Tuesday, it's not likely that you're going to get a hearing for
The reason I asked him if I'm guaranteed a motion hearing is because I filed a motion to dismiss on a speeding ticket in 2021, a month before the trial was scheduled, and I never got a motion hearing. So that's why I'm asking the judge, hey, are you going to guarantee me a motion hearing at least? I know what you're about to do. Are you at least going to guarantee me a motion hearing,
Sure.
So you're letting it go to trial. You know, that's exactly what they want, is to roll on. You know, you should you can't let them arraign you. Don't get arraigned. You know, that's what they're putting in a plea. They didn't put one in for you. That's it's either a judicial determination or they're practicing law from the bench. So yeah, you objected though. That's good.
Yeah, not yet. I haven't. Listen up here. I'm about to object.
That's understandable. Could we now keeping in mind that I don't consent to a trial, obviously, but if the court is going to enter a not guilty plea on my behalf, would the court set the trial at as late of a date as possible so that I have time to file the motion and be heard and have the motion heard by a judge prior to the...
I think that I can't tell. I think the clerk can probably tell you when it would be set. I can tell you that the dates where they have been setting these things for, or have been setting matters off this calendar for that have been pre-trials, and I suspect court trials as well, have been in late February, early March.
Okay, and one other question. Is there a way to compel Mr. Kurt Porter to provide any kind of evidence of personal jurisdiction? Would I be able to do that?
Mr. Porter will provide discovery to you.
Okay.
So now I asked him about his jurisdiction in the affidavits.
This is bad. Yeah. You said you wanted to ask him about jurisdiction. I think you're a little too nice. You know, that could be in Minnesota. I don't know. They sound kind of polite too, but
I'm more of an asshole. Well, not an asshole, but more assertive. I'm more assertive to the officers and the attorneys. In 21, when I was fighting the speeding ticket, the judge opened the trial, brought the first witness, and like a minute later continued it. And he threatened me with contempt of court. And so
yeah, they did that to me too.
And so that's, you know, I'll be more assertive with the officer or the deputy and the attorney and even the complainant. No problem. I'll be more assertive with them. But, you know, once a judge, I mean, you're up there. There's nobody on your side in this place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't let that so-called judge rock you to sleep either. You know, I don't think. You got to be firm in your position. You can be nice about it, but not in wavering in your position, you know.
And I was talking just like I am here in this video, you know. And
well, yeah, but I mean, if we're gonna take this to like even just a temporal level, man, and I know that this is just kind of like a Freudian spitball, but if you will, for just a minute, gentlemen, they have already fucking made it past your defenses. Like if we're talking about like some kind of Machiavellian of beast and man, of whether you should run from this thing because you've already sensed it coming and you have the wherewithal to get away, or whether it's at your door and you just don't give a fuck, you're ready to fight the thing, man. You're somewhere in between there. But I mean, you've got to pick your spot and be that thing, man. Like, you can't waver on this shit at all. I'm telling you, a fucking criminal complaint and you're done with this thing. A fucking call to the right tax department, dude, and you're done with this thing.
Yeah,
and I mean,
right. Stop it before it goes to trial. It's going to trial in March.
Right. You can fucking end this thing tomorrow. What is it, Wednesday?
You're not going to trial. Don't prepare for trial. Don't prepare for trial. You're not going to trial.
Yeah, fucking go on the offensive. Attack these motherfuckers. They're after you. They're gonna put you down. And this is life, man. It's like Rocky. It's like that scene where Rocky's like son grows up to be that retarded, whiny fucking baby, and he's bitching about growing up in Rocky's shadow, and you don't know what it's like, and fucking Rocky's like, look, dude. So you got knocked down. Well, congratulations, man. You're in the fight, and it's going to keep knocking you down, and you're going to keep getting back up, right? Or are you just going to stay down? And then eventually, dude, it beats you to the fucking point where you don't get up again, and you're an old man, and you're fucking dead. You're done. And so, dude, you are the hero of this story, and you're the author of it as well, man.
I think what you're saying, and I agree with you, if this is what you're saying, is Sometimes the best defense is a good offense, I guess is what you're
Fuck
saying.
yes,
right?
man. Fuck
Yeah.
yes, man. This thing is gonna fucking beat on you until it kills you. It's
And
going to, for every single one of us, man. You're the hero of this story. You're the one pinning it too, dude. So you get to decide, do you fight this thing? If you lose, then the universe is just going to keep bringing it back around. Do you avoid it? The universe just keeps bringing it back around, man.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually you have to take this thing on and beat it.
So
you know what I'm saying?
It. Right. No, I get
right.
it.
And then you're the old man sitting in the park playing chess by himself. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, metaphor is, I'm using a little bit of fucking hyperbole here or whatever, but I mean, it really literally is that simple. You are fighting yourself and your courage. There's nothing stopping you from being over there except for fucking air and opportunity. Now just fucking pick your point and go towards it, man. And yeah, it's going to hurt, dude. You're running through the gambit. Everybody's fucking, flying from both sides, and fucking people are booing and they want you to lose, and everybody's got boot in their mouth and they're mad because you don't have any boot in your mouth, dude. Nobody understands. Like, why isn't this dude licking boot? And everybody's going to tell you can't do it and you won't do it. And fucking what they mean is they can't. They fucking won't. Not you. Not you.
I had an absolute plan into this. I had an absolute plan going into this thing. I need somebody to tell me, is this a criminal prosecution or not? And if it is, I need to be informed.
Make it one. Make it one. Make it one for them.
Ask them again, man, in writing. Stop emailing with these people, man, and do everything in writing. And you require everything from them in writing. You don't accept the email invitation.
Make an 8091 complaint. There's a video up on my.
I did put it in writing. Do you notice what the judge said? Well, it looked like it was written on the back of an envelope or something.
Yeah, right. Well, you need that in writing. That's his he thought. You need that in writing.
Right. Then it becomes empirical. He's right. When you do that, it's self-authenticating.
You need that in writing. You need that in writing.
It's on the court transcript. I mean, it's in writing.
Well, and they're gonna balk. They're gonna balk when you try and ask for that thing. They're gonna want you to pay for the court reporter to fucking take it all down in minutes and all that shit. But dude, go after their bonds. Go after their fucking bond. It's like that fucking scene in that stupid movie where they're all riding motorcycles. It's all them guys that weren't funny in the 90s. And now they're really super not funny, probably with Kevin James, because how they make movies anymore. But they're like at this bullpen, and these local fucking guys are showing them this bull, and they're talking about courage, and boy, go run in there, sneak in there and smack that bull on the ass. And they're all doing it. And one of them gets in there and I think he hits him twice or something crazy. He goes nuts with it. He goes a little overboard. And he runs out or whatever. And the guys are saying, well, it'll be interesting to see how the bull reacts now that it's aware. You know what I'm saying? So you're awake. You're awake, dude.
How would you guys sign a document to a public servant?
What do you mean?
Well, you don't just sign your name, right? Or
I suppose you could without recourse
or love. Do you write love, Bleak Narratives, or sincerely?
Oh no, yeah, I say cheers. I say cheers at the end of every one of my conversations. It's always cheers, man. It's always cheers. You're a story. People are going to tell a story about this when it's over. The ones that see it are going to even tell a story in their head as to whether or not they liked it. But so there's a story of you that exists after you leave the room, and that thing it only goes as far as like fucking people carry it. So like you might as well try and be a good one. You know what I mean? An inspirational one that says, hey, there's a lot of fucking dark out there, and it's bitching about the light that you're putting off. But that doesn't mean you dim your fucking light. It means you walk over there and say, what? And shine that shit right in their fucking face. You know what I mean? Fuck them. All the darkness in the universe can't pull off of.
Go back to the court hearing.
Yeah, let's hear the rest of this here.
I'm really happy about it, but if the court is entering a not guilty plea on my behalf, I am objecting to that. However, that's about all I can do is object to entering a not guilty plea on my behalf, and your objection is noted. I would remind you, however, that the alternative to a not guilty plea is a guilty plea.
So I did object, and he said objection noted. And so from what I understand, you can only appeal on what you object to. you know.
Right, that's right.
Yep.
Yep, George Gordon taught me that. So you
Yeah.
want to object to everything. You should have objected 10 times before that point, you know. Object,
so,
you know, when he said you didn't have to respond to your affidavit, I object. I think he does have to respond to my affidavit. And that's the only thing you're there to talk about. And you're challenging the jurisdiction. You
right.
know? And
Right.
yeah. But
Hindsight's
yeah, so
2020. Yes,
object to everything.
I went in there looking for places to object and looking at, is this a criminal prosecution, and what is the nature and cause of the accusation? That's pretty much what I went in there looking to do. And sure, looking back on it, I should have objected 10 times by now, you know.
But all
Right.
of it, see, that's what everybody's probably missing with what I'm saying is all of it has a dollar amount attached to it. Everything that you could go to court for, whether it's a divorce or shoplifting or fucking probation violation or murder, there is a fucking dollar amount attached to that fucking thing, and that's because it has to be commerce. Congress only has the ability to regulate commercial fucking matters. Like I'm talking about commerce and interstate commerce, and that's it, dude. You know what I'm saying?
If you got the driver license, though, you know, if you got the driver license.
Well,
what does that have to do with
they got to
anything,
explain.
Well, it's like contracts, right?
You
know, if you're in there for a traffic infraction, what reason do they believe you're operating in commercial capacity?
Well, what is the cop going to do? The cop's going to say I was driving. Okay, what was I driving? I driving a Ford. Now is he an expert witness? Does he have the fucking certification with the court to be an expert witness and talk about which model of vehicle I was fucking driving? No, he does not. So let's move forward from there. So he says I was speeding. Is he the guy that fucking calibrated those machines? Is he those machines? He's not. He's not. No, he wasn't present for the fucking calibration of that machine. Is he even fucking qualified to conduct traffic stops? That's what you need to ask, because like 7 out of 10 of them aren't. They're not bonded, insured, or fucking they don't have their continued education hours to do the fucking traffic stops. They send them around in cruisers and they do this shit illegally. So you just fucking.
We're trying not to go to trial. You know, those are all
he's already in court, so he can have discovery right now. There's nothing stopping him from fucking demanding this evidence and these facts right now.
That's the other thing.
That's what I did in the affidavits. That's what I did in the affidavits. I mean, I had a string of 15
Well, see, that's
questions.
what I'm saying. Continue your administrative process, dude. If you can get them in default, with a certified, with a fucking notarized certificate of default with a notary protest, then you fucking take that motherfucking shit to a small claims court for $1 and you get a declaratory judgment. You get a DJ. You take that DJ into a regular court, you have them fucking served, and you fucking watch when nobody shows up. And, all of a sudden you can sue them for fucking millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? That's what these fucking bonds are for. That's what all this shit is for. These people have to have insurance to step out of fucking bed in the morning. We have to have insurance in a vehicle just in case we fall asleep at the wheel and murder a family on accident or something. These people go to work with the intention of fucking doing fraud and committing crimes and treason under fucking 241 and 242 every single fucking day. And Chris got it right, man. They've got no O's on file. A lot of them don't even have fucking real bonds. You call them out on this shit, dude, it's a big fucking deal. It's a big fucking deal, and it's gonna happen. Like I said, this shit is held together by fucking shoestring and bubblegum, man. It's fucking ridiculous. It's retarded. It's an army of fucking holographic see-through fucking George Bush gremlin monsters running around saying, I'm the decider, I decide. Fuck that, dude. I'm not scared of this thing. It can suck my ass. I don't give a shit if it's a 7 foot tall fucking, college age fucking
it has to be addressed, man. Ignoring it doesn't work. It has to be addressed when they engage us, And
dude, I like that fear. When I'm afraid, it's the only time I can be brave, dude. Instead of being polite like you're being, dude, fucking come loose, man. Fucking reach down there and see if you've got a pair. Smell your fucking hands afterwards and make sure you got the right thing. And then go get them.
For anybody watching this, looking back at it, when that judge said, well, those affidavits look like they were written on the back of an envelope, I should have used that opportunity to point to my affidavits.
Can anyone see that? I just wrote this handwritten. That doesn't look like it was written on the back of a napkin, does it?
No, it's a piece of paper, not a napkin or an envelope.
What the hell? That's what are they? You need
that in writing, man. You can't be held to the same stringent standards that the fucking attorney can.
Well, he
You know what I
can
mean?
because he said he was representing himself, so they are holding him to them standards. What you need to do is
Yeah, but that's
traverse,
another one of
man.
those.
Everything
That's
that
another
was
one of
done,
those
you want to
words
go
of art, dude.
backwards. You want to go
That's
backwards
another one
from
of those
everything
words
that's
of
been
art,
done.
bro.
Yes, they're trying to proceed. You're trying to back. You know,
They're
wait,
trying to roll forward, and you want to go back. You want to traverse hearing. You know,
wait.
there was no probable cause hearing. You know, there was no
Right.
probable cause hearing. You still haven't been informed of the nature and cause. What did
Right.
they say in
That's when you
response to
bring
that?
that
He's
big
going to
fish in,
send you
dude.
to
That
discovery.
IRS is no fucking joke, bro.
That
I'm
goes
telling
into
you.
motion, correct, Chris? I mean, that goes
What's
into
that?
the motion to dismiss, right? What we're talking about, what they've skipped over, all goes into the motion to dismiss. Am I right?
Yeah, you know, motion for a traverse hearing and put in 30 motions because anyone that gets denied, those are all things you can appeal. You know, if you're going this far, you know.
Right. At
For,
one point, you said you're not trying to be rude, and that's kind of the problem. You do have to be fucking belligerent. Only a belligerent claimant
Forget
has
about that
rights.
judge's feelings.
Only a belligerent claimant has rights.
That
So,
so-called judge wants to sell you down the
Traverse-
river, man. You know, you could be polite about it, but you know, don't try to go along with what he wants to do because everything he wants to do is not your best interest.
That's
you
what I'm
said,
saying, man.
You
You are the only person
they're not
in
going
there.
to be
You're
happy
the
about
only
it.
man in there. Everyone else is a fucking person. They're all a dead fucking fictitious entity. They have no fucking landmarks. They have no souls. You know what I'm saying? They can't do shit. It's just like it's back to the estoppel thing with the Braxis. I'm telling you, man. You get one of these motherfuckers in estoppel by conduct, dude, and concealment. Bam, they're done. They can't do shit. They can't do shit. They can't
I
fucking
like
do
that
shit.
one.
I've seen it work with the fucking with these
asking for
so-called
their
fucking
driver license.
prosecutors. I've seen it work with judges.
Asking for their driver license. That got them pigs to leave my house a couple months back. I asked them for the fucking valid state issue driver license.
Shit, when I did it, it cost the fucking county clerk her job.
You mentioned a traverse hearing. Is that like a special appearance to challenge the court's jurisdiction or the court's?
No, traverse means you want to go back. You're challenging you know, that it proceeded to the stages that it has. You're challenging that it did proceed to that stage. It's a traverse hearing. You want to go back. You're challenging what's been done.
Alternatively, you could take it up to federal court with a mandamus as well. Mandamus is one of the oldest writs that's still around that they still use, and it's a powerful motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's basically for a higher court to look down at what the trial court or what the circuit court's done and fucking decide whether or not they think that it should be fucking remanded or fucking overruled. You know what I'm saying?
If it comes to that, man, you know, if it comes to that, but I think if there's, or you know, if that works every time, then
AO91.
try it.
I'm going to stand by that. I'm going to stand by that AO91. I'm fucking telling you, it takes 45 minutes to watch the video. You turn around, you fill one out in fucking 20 minutes. You copy paste from the fucking the code itself.
I'm getting on that soon, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's
where it's at. And Kirk is offering one of those courses, and you guys know how I feel about this shit, man. I think that if you sell stuff that you're not doing the shit for honor, you're doing the shit for money. And if you're doing this shit for money, it's because you have no fucking honor. You know what I mean? And I'd rather sit here with no money. But anyways, Kirk's selling a course right now that'll show you how to correctly do the fucking bitch. You can also go to his website and watch a video of it, or Telegram and watch Brett Fountain do it. It's
you
simple.
Should go on the offensive. You know, if you're on constantly on defense, you can't score any points.
Both are posted to my YouTube channel along with various tax forums that I'm telling you, take a tenth of the time they're going to spend. Anybody's going to spend watching this shit, and fucking they'll be like, God damn, why didn't I do this earlier? You know what I'm saying? And then they're going to tell 10 people, and out of them, maybe one will have the balls to fucking entertain the thought. And he might try and do the shit, but he's going to quit half fucking way. You know what I mean? And then we got all these dudes with the balls to go out here selling these fucking remedies. I think that shit is chicken shit, man. They know that most of these people are stuck in this position because they have no fucking balls and no money. And they're going to charge them money for fucking something they don't have the balls to fucking use anyways. That's fucked
Matt's
up.
got himself in a position, you know, to test the waters and try something out, you know. Gotta stick to
chew a hole through those motherfuckers. I'm telling you.
So now, I mean, the problem now is you've acknowledged the validity of you know, the steps that they've taken, you know, and
bro, just by using your decedent estate and not having paid the fucking excise tax on it, they have fucking.
Hang on.
I did object to the plea, so I am not acknowledging that
you objected to it. So now put that in writing, and you know, and you motion to dismiss. You motion for a traverse hearing. You know, you motion for
What happened there? Oh, He dropped his
He
phone.
fell out. He'll be back.
Yeah, he cut out.
No, I'm telling you, man, fucking, they can't be in possession of a fucking of decedent estate property. They can't. And if they are, then there's an excise tax that's fucking due on that. And if they haven't paid that shit, then that's all you have to do is just move on that stuff. There are various ways that from a mortgage to a ticket or like even a criminal charge that you can fucking hit these people for the fucking taxes due. Anytime someone is in possession of decedent estate property, as evidenced in this case by the Social Security number, not your Social Security number, but the Social Security number that's attached to your fucking decedent estate, this is a fucking taxable event. This is a trust action. And so you have to establish that you're not the fucking trustee, you're not the fucking obligor or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're the beneficiary. You know, a lot of people want to say executor, but that's the place that the fucking judge is operating from. The thing is, until you answer to you and tie this whole fucking manifested spell that they've got going on with their little satanic baby raping cult together with your fucking physical manifestation, your vessel, it's when you take over the fucking term you. But until that point, man, there is a tax that's due. There's a fucking tax that's due. And the reason they owe taxes because they're not government. They're not judicial. They're executive. Every single one of them. And they have a fucking tax identification number because they fucking are supposed to pay taxes. And they don't pay the taxes on this. There's a capital gains tax that's fucking owed on this shit. So you can fucking hammer these people into the ground with a couple of phone calls. And then you're going to be standing around wondering what the fuck happened because there will be nothing. And then maybe you'll end up getting a fucking check out of the deal too. Anytime you report something to the IRS, they're due and owing 18% as a finder's fee. You know what I'm saying? So you fucking report these guys with a W-2, and then you ask them for their W-9 for their fucking EIN. They're not going to give you that shit. When they do that, that immediately triggers an IRS response with their fucking with their investigation. There's no sitting around waiting to see if there's any validity to this. They suspend their fucking business license. They come in there, they kick their fucking doors in with machine guns, and then they look at all their books and shit. They're double-sided ledgers. They're all fucked up. They're all fucked up. When they find fucking fraud for you, they're going to look at the next person. They're going to find fraud for them. These people should fucking dangle by their necks, and it says so in the fucking Constitution. When they violate their fucking oath, they are guilty of fucking treason. And these people are a foreign army that's invaded America, dude. They seriously have, and that's why every one of them's got a fucking ISLN number and a fucking all these international fucking things, man. Even the people that aren't, like this attorney, he has no jurisdiction outside of Washington. Washington is 10 square miles in Virginia. Other than that, he's got fucking the Dominican, fucking what parts of Puerto Rico and Guam and fucking the Northern Marianas Islands. That's America. That's the United States as far as they're fucking concerned. That's why they say U.S. citizen instead of USA. There's a reason why they left this word off, because the United States is a federal fucking corporation, and the states are subsidiary corporations of the federal government. Every single one of them has a Dun and Bradstreet number, and they've got fucking tax identification numbers. So hammer them. Hammer them. That's what the IRS fucking exists for. Every one of you guys is scared of the IRS. Would you guys want to fuck with the IRS? No. There's a reason. So get them, get them, get them. And by that, I just mean make a fucking phone call and hand it off to the people that matter. And they'll go get them, and then you can FOIA all of that shit as evidence, and you've got your own case right there.
I did ask
for damages
how much it costs to, prosecute this alleged matter, and of course they didn't tell me, but I don't have it in writing filed with the court either. It's on email. So,
well, brother, I can give you my private information in chat here, and you can feel free to get with me anytime. But I'm telling you, whenever you're ready to stand up and fight this thing, you're going to be glad that you fucking did.
He is fighting it, man. He's testing the waters right now. That's why we're out here doing this. He's fighting it. We got learning from his mistakes and building it strength. So other people see it too, and encourage other people to do it, man. Because most people don't have the balls to fight a traffic ticket. I don't know anyone who's ever beaten one. If they do, they're going in there, the grant jurisdiction, arguing the facts.
There's videos of it all over YouTube, like that Thor guy or whatever. That is the most recent one I remember seeing, and I'm sure people will know what I'm talking about. But
more people need to do it. Nobody in his area, Minnesota, is doing it. we only know each other in line because it's so few and far between.
You've seen Ender's Game, right? You've seen Ender's Game, right? There's no need to like Nancy Kerrigan, this dude, rip his fucking head off. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna get back up and do it to somebody else.
Yeah, you can't be worried about being nice. You know, be as polite as you want, but you go in there. Your position is your position. You can't be persuaded in it. You know, you can't let him, you know, worry about hurting his feelings or, you know, call him out on their bullshit.
All these dudes are doing fraud. They're doing fucking capital gains fraud. They're doing fucking tax fraud. They're doing securities fraud.
You guys have noticed that I haven't wavered from this question. Is this
right? That's good.
Nature and cause the accusation? I haven't wavered from it. Well, it's some bullshit nature that I've never heard of. And so
right. So at this point, man, you're gonna you know, you got through that, and you're gonna put it on paper why it's not going to trial. You know, why these things were invalid. You know, then tell them that they need to respond to that paper and give them a deadline too. And if they don't, you know, send them a
debt collector, man.
On it, you know, and you know.
The problem is the judge said that this is not a criminal prosecution, and the Sixth Amendment says
they're acting as a debt collector. So him under Title 15.
That's the problem
under
for
Title
him.
15. Seriously, they're acting as a debt collector. They have to abide by fucking the FDCPA just like anybody else does, man. So you hit them under Title 15, 1601 through 1693. And seriously, every fucking violation is $1,000. Anything they send you in the mail, if there's a fucking see-through window on the motherfucker, there's $1,000 for a glassine window. $2 of them, there's $2,000 before you even open the thing. And it says something about court on there, so people will know that it's an attempt to collect a debt. There's fucking $3,000. You open that shit up, any fucking symbol in there. So that's every $, every period, every apostrophe, every comma, every fucking number. I mean, what the fuck is a $? It's a peso. You know what I mean? So they're
talking about a lot of things, man, that are advanced stuff, and again, it's 10 different strategies.
It's not any of this is defending yourself without even defending yourself, man. This is all fucking fluid motion like Kimbo or fucking
remotely,
judo, you know,
on paper. You know, you don't want to go back to another hearing. You got to give them 10 reasons why that's not happening.
You don't have to when you report these motherfuckers. You won't be going back to another hearing because they're already fucking found out. These people do not want the higher ups looking into their shit. Trust me, these fucking counties don't want the state.
You don't want to bank on that either, man.
The federal government looking in.
Bleak, you don't want to bank on that either, man. Because you know, I did that too. I reported them for mail fraud. You know, I put in complaints, municipal complaints. I called the NSA. You know,
I mean, look at this judge.
Don't count on that. Stop. You know, you still got to stop them. That you know that's going on the offensive, and the more things you do like that, the better. I think.
I mean, look at what this judge just did to my affidavits. Oh, looks like it was written on the back of an envelope. We're gonna need something more.
Well, you need that in writing, and you didn't get that in writing. You know, and there's no reason. The only reason for the hearing is what's their response to your affidavit? You have nothing to say. You stand on your paper.
Yep.
You know?
And I'll do the same thing, write a motion to dismiss.
You could have said the same about that pig citation. Oh, it looked like it was written on the back of a napkin. And that he used it for a napkin at McDonald's, you know? What if you said that? That citation looks like it was written on the back of a napkin. Fuck that. You know, don't let them do it to you.
Right.
And the judge is in there.
This dude can't fucking cite you for something as a witness and as the officer that issues the ticket, and then be the same one to fucking give you a summons.
The officer, where is he?
He's not insured and bonded as a fucking process server.
That cop was in there. Where the hell is he? They should be going out for that.
And that's also going into the motion. At the arraignment, there's no witness. There's no.
So make a claim on his fucking bonds. Make a claim on that asshole's bonds, dude. He already did fucking credit card fraud.
And then make a claim on the demand for dismissal.
Hit him for $39.49. Hit that motherfucker for a $39.49 fucking tonight before you go to bed. It doesn't take that long, dude. You could even watch a couple of videos on it. I'm telling you. Sit there, fucking roast a bull, get the balls up to do it. You hand off the ball. Worst case scenario, they're gonna come back and be like, oops. You fucked up, but check it out, man. There's a difference between errors and mistakes. Like errors cannot be fixed. Mistakes can be fucking made right. You know what I'm saying? So make a mistake. But what you don't want to do is don't be me. Don't waste the time talking about this to anybody or fucking anything like that, because no one will ever listen to you. It's a wasted fucking existence. But I mean, at the same time, man, like, while I might be a cheerleader for this shit, you can look around me. I have no fucking adversaries. You know what I'm saying? And I won't because I'm not adversarial. I don't piss in anybody's fucking yard. There's no fucking, you know, there's no trespass being done by me to anyone. And there never fucking will be.
You know, and I mean, they have a right to do it, you know, record in the back of police stations or going into places that they wouldn't do business with anyway, you know, and that's not me either, you know.
Don't get me wrong. You have to follow the laws within municipalities. Like, if you're going to fucking show your ass inside of a city, then you're going to be subject to their fucking rules. You can take your little ass out and you can fucking, you know, wander with the bears and frolic in the forest, and you can do that too. You know what I'm saying? But there's an in-between where you can move out of the public, and you don't operate in public commerce, man, then there is no fucking action against you except for inequity. And they can't move equitably against you for criminal fucking things because the two don't fucking commingle. There is no fucking law with equity, but there could be no fucking law without it. You know what I'm saying? Equity could survive without law. It's the natural law, like what's naturally written on our hearts, what's intrinsically fucking instilled upon us that we know when we're 3. We don't talk shit. We don't fucking hurt anybody, and we keep our hands to ourselves, right?
These guys,
that's it, man. All things in accordance with nature, no fucking harm. You know what I'm saying? Know thyself.
You and I and Chris, we go by these rules, but these jokers don't. You know what I mean? And so
they're talking in administrative capacity. Are you part of the corporation? You're not part of the fucking machine. So if my fucking roommate, he's a manager at McDonald's, if he catches you not washing your fucking hands coming out of the bathroom, and he's like, hey, get back in there and wash your fucking hands, or you can go home. You know what I'm saying? What are you going to say to that motherfucker? Seriously. Eat my shit, Officer Schmedley. Judge Schmedley. Tell him. Judge Busybody Schmedley.
Telling him eat my shit doesn't work, man. They got fucking goons that'll come and fucking jam you up.
Yeah.
You know, that's why we're trying, you know.
That's great, dude. Every one of them is easier to fucking sue than a judge. Every one of them is easier to fucking sue. Look at Smart Lope TV or the Winter Circle. These are dudes that probably didn't even finish fucking high school. I have a freshman education. Boy, I'll fucking bark at a goddamn community fucking deputy fucking courthouse clerk enough that none of them fucking. I walk in there and ask where the bathroom is. They can't give me legal advice, Mr. Talbert. You know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a safe enough place to run to, dude. Like, these motherfuckers are. I mean, the first place I went about my fucking family being trafficked, the lady that don't even speak English is like, oh my god, dude, fucking. You know, I just printed off your documents. Holy shit, where were you 30 years ago when my fucking son and brother got trafficked?
And
like this place is right along that little vein that they fucking do all this little ball worshiping fucking sex trafficking fucking human sacrificing shit they do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's getting a little off
not legal
on this court hearing, man. You know what?
We are
at this point, you know.
I'm gonna play a little.
So are you fighting this thing? Are you gonna come back in the belly of this motherfucker or with his head?
There's about 5 minutes left of this. I want to play a little bit more of it here. So
for sure.
So he's already said that he's going to enter a not guilty plea on my behalf. I've already objected. Let's see what happens here.
So I think that a not guilty plea is probably more protective of your rights than saying, well, you need to just plead guilty. So we'll just leave it with a not guilty plea, a court trial.
Well,
and if you want to file a motion, you certainly are entitled to do that.
Okay, now, Your Honor, the only reason I'm having problems with that is because it basically grants the attorney personal jurisdiction before any evidence of personal jurisdiction is presented.
So he said, oh, well, a not guilty plea is better than a guilty plea, right? And I said, no, because it grants the prosecutor personal jurisdiction before any evidence of personal jurisdiction is presented.
Yeah, that's real bullshit. And he did personal jurisdiction. He twisted around what he said on that, but he hasn't provided any proof of personal jurisdiction. He's a city prosecutor.
Yes, listen to what the judge says about his personal jurisdiction. He says the prosecutor doesn't have to have any personal jurisdiction. Listen to this.
Yeah, he says it's the court's is personal jurisdiction, right? But the court, that would be the subject matter jurisdiction. And you need proof of that too.
He's just about to tell me I already entered the court's jurisdiction.
Subject yourself to the court's personal jurisdiction by a peer. And so if you want to argue that the court does not have jurisdiction, that would be part of your motion.
The courts, I'm
pause that. Yeah, you did appear, and you didn't say that you were making a special appearance, because otherwise they just assume it's a general appearance. You're there. You didn't really challenge the fact that you were there in the first place. You know, because I always say that I'm not there voluntarily. I'm only there under threat, duress, and coercion, and I'm making a special appearance for the purpose of challenging jurisdiction. That's the only reason I'm there, is under threat, duress, and coercion, and to challenge jurisdiction.
Right. He's not wrong. There are no facts in dispute before the court. There are no facts in dispute before the court. Who is there saying what? So when this dude says that
that's going farther. You know, you're challenging jurisdiction.
When this judge is saying that he's being charged with something, so is this judge assuming the fucking personal, professional liability, criminal liability, and civil liability for this fucking charge that he's saying? Where's the fucking charging instrument? Where is the fucking claimant? The fucking prosecutor can't say shit. He wasn't there. He can't fucking speak for the goddamn officer. The officer probably can't speak for the officer. Like I said, the motherfucker's probably not fucking. He's probably not done the continued ed and the fucking the standards and training for fucking traffic stops. And when you request this shit with a FOIA and they don't give it to you, then you make a fucking claim against their bonds. You don't have to fucking do shit. The claim is there. Did they fucking deny you this? It's just like your credit. Dude, if you go out and fucking try to get the most expensive vehicle on the fucking lot and they deny you your credit, you say, I need the letter of fucking denial with the reasons why I'm being denied my credit. And when they give you that, then you have a fucking lawsuit against every single fucking person that's made a fucking any kind of negative like ding on your credit report. And then the people that fucking denied you that fucking vehicle, they owe you the cost of the note. So if it was a $75,000 truck, you just made $75,000 plus 10 grand. Based off of what? Based off of the evidence that you got right there with your fucking rejection letter. And then you ask them for your fucking your credit application too on your way out, just to really fucking kick them in the nuts, dude, so they can't fucking sell that shit around on the market afterwards. You know what I'm doing? Which is what they do. They shop that shit around and they sell it on a below market value. They don't give you any of your rights, your dividends, your debentures, your profits, your proceeds. None of that shit. They're not giving you any of that shit.
Man, you're getting way too advanced for you know, the average person. You're not going to talk somebody into contesting the parking ticket. You know, they're gonna, holy fuck, you know.
Right.
You're losing me on half of that shit. You know, you got to focus on a couple things. So, you got to stick to your one or two, three things when you go in there and repeat them. You know,
the criminal complaint, and then the fucking the call to the SEC and the fucking TIGDA. That's it, man. If I was gonna give my top three, my priceless fucking combo. That's it, man. You fucking do an AO91. You do a 3949A with the fucking IRS, and then you call TIGDA.
Have you done them?
Have I done any of them? Have I had to? No, man. I threatened to do these things and these fucking people disappeared. Remember, like fucking a month or two ago, they're talking about, oh, they're going to throw me in jail for fucking being 30,000 in arrears and child support. Where the fuck did that go? I mean, when was the last time you heard me bitch about anything in my life, man?
Yeah, it's kind of
I'm always dealing with everybody else's shit.
A lot of their stuff is idle threats. It's funny when you don't. I know,
but when you say shit like that, that's fucking doubtful, dude. That's like the people in there that saying prove it with the fucking accepted for value shit. Prove it. Learn your shit. If somebody's sitting here saying shit and it doesn't resonate with you, then don't pick it up. But I mean, asking me whether I've done any of this shit, that's disrespectful, dude. I mean,
no, I'm just asking, man, if you've done them, you know.
What do you want me to say? No, I'm the motherfucker that does it. I'm just trying to get a bunch of people in trouble. Yeah, that's me, man. Here I am trying to stir shit up and get people in trouble for reporting people for fraud to the IRS. No, man, do your duty. That, man. You're a man. You're not a citizen. You're not a person. You're not a fucking taxpayer. You don't owe fucking insurance on your vehicle. You don't need a fucking card to be able to move a fucking piece of iron down the road. None of that shit fucking happens. None of that shit happens. You're the fucking source issuer of all source. Your signature is the only fucking money there is. There is no money. There's excise taxes, stocks, fucking bonds, certificates, fucking gold and silver, fucking stamps. You know, notes, bills of exchange.
fucking bankers acceptances, drafts, fucking promissory notes. What is that? That's your fucking signature. That's why everybody wants if I've got those 4 elements, if I've got your fucking name, your date of birth, your address, and your social security number, I can access the fucking treasury. If I've got the right standing, I can access the treasury and fucking get into your trust.
That's
for 70 fucking years. For 70 fucking years. That's what this court's doing. So nail their ass to the fucking wall.
We could be on here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the next year. You know, talking about some of the stuff that, and I'm following some of it. You know, I'm just.
It takes time. It takes time, dude. But just know, if something doesn't feel right to you, if something doesn't pass the sniff test, bro, you're not the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You're not the one in the wrong. You're not the one fucking footing the bill. You're not the motherfucker to fuck with. You're not the motherfucker.
This so-called hearing, I'm like I said, I went in there. Is this a criminal prosecution? If so, what's the nature and cause of the accusation? They snubbed me.
Get louder like a black chick and start clapping your fucking hands in between every word.
What else?
You know what I mean? Next time.
I filed 2 affidavits prior to this hearing. And what do? They kind of ignore them. Well, it looks like it was written on the back of a napkin. And now I'm going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. I'm bucking that too. I'm objecting to that too. You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm just bending over and
right. No, I know you're fighting this, man. And I know that it takes a lot of time to absorb this information. And then you've got to process it. Like anybody that's worth their sand is going to sit there and fucking till on a thing for a second before they fucking start going, you know, fucking all guns a-blazing or whatever. So definitely anything that I say, man, I challenge you to fucking verify it. Everything you need to know is in the UCC under fucking, I think it's the UCC 3, and it's like 307 through 311 or something like that. It's all about fucking security interest. You're fucking qualified security interest in something, man. If somebody doesn't have a fucking security interest in something, which is these people coming at your decedent estate, and you report these people for this thing. You don't have to even know that much. You just have to know the place to go or the form to fill out and where to mail it.
Sure.
And that's simple stuff. Like I said, I'll give you all that, man. Just you know, you can hit me I guess anybody can, man. I really don't give a fuck. My number is 316-207-2041, or you can get me at bleaknarratives@gmail.com. Like anytime, man. Anytime anybody wants to take down one of these motherfuckers, let's go. Let's get them.
Sure. Now where I'm at here is I'm fighting this thing the whole time. I'm like, criminal prosecution, not. And he said nope. And he says, I'm gonna enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. I said, I'm objecting, you know, and I'm fighting and I'm kicking. I'm not just bending over to these guys. I mean, I'm asking questions. They basically blew through my affidavits. They blew through my 6th Amendment rights.
Yeah, you're letting them roll forward without addressing the issues that you've raised. You know?
Yes. And well, it's not that I'm
let them do that. Say it 3 times. I remember the Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz. They say it 3 times. You know.
Yep.
Because they do. They're masters at changing the subject. You know, trick questions. You know, answered the question, but it didn't really answer the question at all. You know, they're testing you if you really know what you're doing, but then you wonder how much they even know, because they don't even know what the hell they're doing, man. It's like a fucking
They know what they're doing. They're doing fraud. They know that they're fucking doing fraud.
We got about 4 minutes left of this video. Should we play a little more?
Sure.
The attorney at law, Kurt Porter, is lacking personal jurisdiction.
He doesn't have to have personal jurisdiction. The court does it.
He doesn't have to have personal jurisdiction. That's what he just said.
He does. Yeah, he does. And the court is subject matter jurisdiction. So I think he doesn't know what he's talking about there. Whoever challenged jurisdiction in that court.
The citation might be at issue, but Mr. Porter himself personally does not have to have any sort of jurisdiction.
He said the law enforcement agency that issued the citation has to have jurisdiction, but the attorney does not have to have personal jurisdiction. That's what he just said.
he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, or he's just trying to bullshit you, figuring you don't know what you're talking about. But
so let's hear what happened.
Tell him that in writing, man, and tell him you require their response in writing, and you can't move forward. Right. It's like that UR law one.
What do you think about a special?
I don't understand, nor can I consent to proceed with these matters.
I like your idea of a special appearance.
It's a must. If you're going to go there, that's a must to say that. You're not there voluntarily. You're there under threat, threats, and coercion.
A lot of guys will throw in the at arm's length to the court. At arm's length to the court. You know,
that man says to go in there, say you're a friend of the court. Did you ever listen to him?
Yeah, I've heard that. Those are the same people that say to accept it. You know what I mean, and set it for offset with the Treasury, which you do have an exemption. You haven't. We do. Every one of us does have a fucking exemption, and they are just trying to get paid. But again, that's the thing. This is a fucking commercial transaction. So in that they're trying to get paid, you could fucking just ask them who is responsible for the excise tax. You throw that shit out there like it's like a fucking stink bomb, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Asking them for their driver license will stop. You know, they can't respond to that either. Right, you know, and you shouldn't be even talking to these people until they prove who they are.
Daytime, I would call them up.
You know, they have a valid station driver license.
Dude, if you guys want to do this tomorrow during the business hours, we can call them up. I'll call them up, man. I'll call them up and I'll fucking ask them who's responsible for the fucking excise tax, and I need a W-9. And when they don't give me a W-9, man, I can fucking file. I can file a fucking W-4 on these motherfuckers on your behalf, dude.
Want to do a live stream with phone calls? That'd be great.
Sure.
We'd have to
Let's set it up, dude. I'm a fucking nightmare, but you should see Network King do them. Network King is a fucking god. He's a gremlin, dude. And that motherfucker, you can just picture him sitting back in his big old chair, like fucking, all like Mr. Burns or some shit, clicking his fingertips together. Fucking, he's all calm while he has people fucking crawling out of their own skin.
I'm sending out a couple letters on regular mail. I wonder if they're gonna get them.
So far, they told me it's not a criminal prosecution. The judge told me it's not a criminal prosecution.
Yeah. So what jurisdiction are they operating under then?
That's what you have to ask them because they don't have it.
The Constitution. If it's a civil matter, then where's the plaintiff?
This is a violation of your fucking due process rights, dude.
If it's not criminal, then what? It's civil. Then where's the plaintiff? And where's the contract?
Right. Well, you can get them for both. See, the fact that these guys are fucking, they're hauling in a fucking government paycheck while they're doing this, which makes it a fucking RICO act too. It makes it racketeering because the state's now involved. You know what I'm saying? So if you fucking report these people for RICOs and you make fucking Hobbs claims against their fucking bonds, it's over. It's over. It's over. You won't have to fight this any other way, man. You take the head of it right off.
My affidavits ask, is this a criminal or civil matter? Is there a contract? That's what my affidavits asked, and they blew right through.
It's a criminal matter, but not on your behalf. It's a criminal matter on their behalf. They're doing
criminal. So then it could only be civil then. If it's civil, where's the plaintiff?
If they're operating outside the jurisdiction, dude.
Tell them to identify the jurisdiction. You need to ask the court, is this a court of record? And ask the court to identify itself.
Could it be?
Not. You know that it's not.
I know, but you ask them. You don't accuse them. You always ask questions. You don't accuse them. You ask questions.
Could this have been an administrative hearing in wrong jurisdiction? Because an administrative hearing, that would have to happen through like the Department of Transportation or something. You know,
well, but they're working off assumptions and presumptions, man. We can do that as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, by asking questions that they can't answer, man. You know, ask it. Well, will this court please identify itself in writing? You need to know what rules of procedure. How can you you don't even know what jurisdiction they're operating under. How could you possibly address it? You know, and then the documents they gave you probably aren't in English too. You know.
Well, that's where you just make your claim right there. You have a claim. These people are obstructing you in your remedy of law, and that you've been harmed thereby, and so you fucking send them a claim that says you've obstructed me in my remedy of law and harmed me thereby. Now make me whole or fucking be sued. Bam, bam, and then you file a claim against them. You go into the federal courthouse and you file up a claim and you tell them that you don't need to pay the filing fee because you're not a corp. No, check it out. That you're not a fucking corporation. And you hand them a complaint that says, I, a man, have suffered fucking harm by way of trespass. That is it. You get yourself a docket number. You pay $12 and you have them served by the local fucking sheriff. Or if you really want to be a dick, you pay $150 and fucking have them done by the fucking marshals. And that's where it's at. And then you take them into their own arena on a federal level. Every one of these federal judges doesn't want to be a federal judge. They want to be a fucking politician. They want to have some fucking real cush badass job. So they're trying to move up. They've got tenure. They can't be fired. They've got a fucking lifetime appointment to a federal fucking judge position. So that's where they're at until they go up. So they're not going to fucking go down with these little cronies from the fucking state. They don't even like them. Telling you.
And
Telling you.
Well,
It's like
these aren't, that's the other thing. Hang on a minute. Hang on. They're not cronies from the state. They're, you know, in most cases, especially with traffic courts, I can tell you the state hasn't touched it.
No,
there's nothing about it. What it is it's the county, and the county. It's all these little warlord gangs of the county, and the enforcement's the county.
They've got
you know,
bonds.
The state's not involved.
They've got bonds.
The state is not involved until you volunteer to get on a bus to go to prison. You know, pretty much. It's the county, the district attorney. That's not from the state.
Yeah, you can't expect the attorney general to act as your fucking on your behalf. That's not going to happen. That's why he's the attorney general. They're at war with us, man. That's where all these military titles and these titles of nobility are coming from. They're not supposed to use these things. You and I both know that they're unregistered foreign agents too. There's another thing. You could take them for fucking Farha for not being registered. They're unregistered foreign fucking agents. Every last one of them.
Asking for foreign agent registration participation.
That's just it, dude. The fucking the soil that you fucking reside upon, man, where you abode, is not part of Minnesota. I fucking promise you that. Minnesota is going to be the land that's been ceded to the fucking state by the federal government that they have a fucking receipt to show for. That's going to be like fucking state parks, federal parks, you know, shit like that, where the courthouse is located. Maybe. It may just be that some private fucking for-profit racketeering firm is leasing that property and putting a fucking administrative law clerk that's been to a fucking judge college and has a little fucking Rolodex of goddamn excuses to use every time somebody comes at him. They place some dude in there that's good enough to fucking hold up against you, right? Until you fucking knock his ass over, dude. I'm telling you, and you don't have to do it. You can have the fucking IRS do it, bro. You get a TIG to do it.
George Gordon said 90% of lawyers are incompetent.
So
something the court said there, but
I've already filed affidavits questioning the deputy, the captain that filed the complaint, and the prosecuting attorney, I guess, for lack of a better term. And so
bar grievances, complaint with the fucking with their indemnities. They're the surety for fucking principal. You find out who surety is, and you get the contact information. And if they fucking keep you from this, like that's a $500 fucking that's a $500 fine right there. You know what I'm saying? Personal. That's not on a federal level. That's the person that does that. It's a $500 fucking fine for them to not give you that information.
Now we're messing with something different. Now we're messing with the judge. You know what I mean? Now there's a judge in on this.
So that's just an asshole in a dress. That dude is an administrative law clerk. He's got fucking rules he has to follow, and he's got a corporate fucking bylaw and charters that he has to follow. So you fucking demand those things.
Judge, then put in a complaint to the Commission on Judicial Conduct if they want to call themselves a judge. You know.
There you go, and you take it to the. There's committees. There's a committee for fucking Judicial Qualification Board, and then there's the standards and training, I think it is. And then there's your House Senate Committee on the Judiciary. There's the House Committee on the Judiciary.
There's there's a bunch of different. Are you guys saying scrap the motion to dismiss? I mean, I don't.
I would put a demand. I would send them a demand to dismiss.
Demand for dismissal.
Yeah, I'd go after those motherfuckers too. Absolutely. I'd make that motherfucker with a notice of fucking intent to sue. Send them a motherfucking notice of intent, because you have to send them a notice of intent. Some states will make you wait 6 months if it's going to be a tort claim, a federal tort claim. So you don't want to sue them under tort law, because when you do that, you have to prove up harm, like harm per se. You know what I'm saying? Is a lot more beneficial. You have to prove up actual fucking harm. So you have to have like doctor's bills or something like that says these people have harmed you. But if you hit them with a cause of action, it's not the same as harm per se. So there's all these elements under the tort claim that don't exist under a cause of action that you have to prove up. Get yourself a fucking O'Connor's study guide. It's called the O'Connor's Texas Cause of Actions. And then there's O'Connor's standard forms and pleadings. And there's O'Connor's civil trials. I have all this shit I can not share with you, of course, because that would be illegal.
But
in Minnesota, it's a
hit
little.
that number, find that number and hit that, man. I'll fucking, or you can just find me on Telegram, the Bleak Narratives on Telegram. All this shit's up there. I don't really give a fuck about any of these copyright infringements and shit, because I mean, these people didn't fucking write these laws. They might have compiled these books, but they've made their money, dude. Like anybody that wants to come at me can come at me, I guess. Fucking.
In Minnesota, you don't have to give an intent to sue. You serve the complaint in the
registered agent.
You
registered agent. Yeah.
Serve the complaint and summons, and
to the registered agent. Yep.
If they completely reject it, okay, then you'll have to go file it yourself. You know what I mean? But a lot of times they'll either settle or respond to the complaint and summons and file it themselves.
Have you ever heard of a plaintiff will show? A will show is a good document, man. It's basically saying this is what I can show. You know what I'm saying? You come right out the gate with all your evidence, just like you would if you filed it with the court clerk. You know what I'm saying? Plaintiff will show, plaintiff will show. And the way that you do this, they have statutory and ministerial duties. Ministerial duties. So if they shall do something and they don't do it, then they're fucked. And you just show that. And if they may do something, then that means that they have discretion. But if they don't have that discretion, they move out from underneath the indemnities of their fucking surety. They're not indemnified. There's no insurance that covers them when they fucking act outside of their fucking scope of their what they call, when they act outside of the scope of their profession or scope of their employment. Then that's it. They act outside of the range of their employment or whatever. Then they're fucked.
Sure.
They're not indemnified. Then they have to all of a sudden they have to produce a federal fucking defense attorney. They have to produce all the fucking evidence and shit to say that they didn't do all this stuff, because the onus is going to be on them. You know what I'm saying?
The only complaint I've ever filed in my life, the only complaint and summons I've ever served in my life was just within the past week or two on a data practices claim. All right. And so that doesn't really have anything to do with this. Basically, what's happening here is I'm getting sued. You know what I mean? I'm the one.
Right. So again, man, you should try and find my group on Telegram. And I guess, Chris, when you were saying, have I done any of this? There's a document that I sent out to Kendall McVeigh, who is the state's trustee for fucking Title 4D. And that's baby D. That's a little D, because those little dick motherfuckers will never get me trying to say that I owe them some kind of money for some kind of fucking suretyship or some kind of fucking superiority in a fucking claim that they have over my fucking genetic offspring, so they can eat my shit. But yeah, there's a document I've got they'll make them wet their pants. And the thing is that they take these documents and they run them through this fucking, like I said, it's like a cloud. So they know when you're using Patrick Devine stuff or something like that. You know what I'm saying? They know when your document came from Derek or when it came from Sovereign Living or whatever.
They could beat the brains and try to figure out where mine came from, because they're original.
Right. And that's the way to do it. But I mean, you gotta put teeth on these fucking things, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you're already fucking bordering that line of using the U.S. Postal Service to fucking commit some kind of fucking fraud or scheme, some artificer scheme. And I think this is fuck, I forget what the code is for all this shit, but they're guilty of it if they sent you any kind of fucking correspondence in the mail. Then you can turn them in for fucking mail fraud for the same fucking shit. It's extortion, it's harassment, it's intimidation. You know what I'm saying?
I just wrote them. You want to hear what I just wrote them?
Sure. Should we finish that video real quick?
Yeah, let's finish that video. Law-abiding Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm here, guys. You there still?
Yeah. Check out the rest of that video.
Yep. Couple minutes left here. Let me play the rest of it here.
So let's just set a trial date. And then you can file your motion and you can raise your jurisdictional arguments. And Mr. Porter will have your motion to know how to respond. And the court will have your motion to know where things are going. And we'll see how it goes.
Okay, and the objection to and the entering of the not guilty plea at the court's will is noted, correct, sir?
It certainly is noted. There's been a record made, and if you wanted a transcript of this, you could contact the court reporter, and she'd tell you how to buy one.
I can think of one other important issue. One other important issue before we call this a day, if you don't mind. I'm the only other issue is that my name is actually spelled with just one capital letter at the beginning of each surname, and the rest of the name it's capital M, lowercase a, t, t, h, e, w. I don't like the all capital letters on there, and so the spelling of my name contains lowercase letters, and that's all I would like noted.
I made sure I added that on the record. You know, I wanted to get that on the record.
Yeah, it's good to address that, but I did it in writing would be better. And to I did it by asking a question. I asked if the court could please tell me what style manual they used when where I could find the usage of that all capital lettering, because the English language doesn't have that.
Sure.
It's only for signage, which signage doesn't conform to the rules of grammar. So there's no way to interpret it. It's not in English, basically.
And again, we could go into another 2 days straight live talking about that, but I just thought I'd add that in there for the record.
Okay.
Right.
What's
yeah.
Give Mr. Zinder.
We're looking at February 8th at 1:30.
Mr. Zinder, is that enough time?
Well, I don't think it's enough time, but I just don't. I mean,
well, let's ask you. Can we go out and say another 2 or 3 weeks?
I mean, I guess it with all due respect, Your Honor, I've objected to the not guilty plea, and so I guess whenever it pleases the court to schedule the.
Okay, well, I just asked the clerk if we could go out another 3 weeks.
Okay.
We can do the 22nd of February at 1:30.
That's about 60 days, so.
I'll have no other option than to object to the not guilty plea and defend myself at all future hearings that the court might schedule, you know?
Okay. All right. So trial date, when the motion is, depends on when you make your filing.
I will get it done as soon as possible.
And you have to bear in mind that not only do you have to file with the court, you have to send a copy of everything to Mr. Porter.
All right, so here's the problems, man. You allowed them to say that you're representing yourself. You know, I would, change that in writing, and they're rolling forward to trial. Challenge jurisdiction.
Special appearance.
Yeah, by special appearance on paper. Special appearance on paper, yeah. Challenge all those things, and say you require a response.
So
you can't move forward. You can't move forward.
With when you file something with the court, that is basically an appearance, is what you're saying. I mean, your appearance.
Yeah, appearance. Right, an appearance in Black's Law Dictionary. Yeah, that doesn't mean you have to be there.
Sure.
And you can't. They haven't responded to your affidavits. You're being too nice. you know, they're trying to rock you to sleep, and they're rolling forward. They didn't answer any of the questions. You brought valid things that you raised on personal jurisdiction, you know, probable cause. How can they roll forward onto trial when you haven't even been arraigned and there hasn't been a probable cause hearing?
So here's right. And so here's the question.
Anything mistakes you made in there, you can correct them on paper, man. That's what you got to do.
Right.
You know?
So would you suggest the special appearance prior to the motion?
Yeah.
Prior to the motion to dismiss.
The demand for dismissal. You know.
Demand for
motion, because the motion, if you put in a motion, then you're still you still have that the status of representing yourself. You know,
Sure.
and you're acknowledging jurisdiction. So you demand for dismissil.
Sure.
Hey,
But
Bleak, my phone died too. That's why I cut out there for a minute.
You're saying make a special appearance prior to demanding dismissal.
All together. Yep. Yeah, all together. And then yeah, I mean, if you want to do motions, you could do a motion for a more definitive statement, you know, motion for bill of particulars, motion for you know, but I would, you know, I'll say demands. I don't like motion, and that's an attorney word. That means you're representing yourself. You want to tell them you're en propria persona.
Sure.
You're not representing yourself, because if you don't take their attorney, that's the first trick they go to get you to agree that you're representing yourself, because you can't be held to the standards of the legal society. And how could you represent yourself? You say, I'm not representing myself, I am myself.
Sure.
One way to do it, you know.
Sure.
But you don't want to go there, man, you know. And the paper, you know, send them in papers, and then give them time. You got 2 months. Tell them they have send them out right away. Tell them they have 14 days to respond or something.
Sure.
I don't know. You can look up what the rules are, you know, for that. But they don't respond to your papers, then I don't know. Cooperating with them, man, it won't get you anywhere, you know.
They already haven't responded to the affidavits, and
right. So you put in a notice of default on that and demand for dismissal. You know.
So yeah, that's where I'm sitting. I just kind of wanted to get on the live, and because I can't be the only one in America with this problem. You know what I mean?
No, you're not, man. But you're the only one in your town standing up to them. You know.
Sure.
And hopefully some other people get some balls. You know, and stop putting up with this bullshit. You know.
Sure.
Piracy, extortion. You know.
A few years back, when I got that speeding citation in 21, I had a friend of mine that convinced me that I would be bearing false witness against myself if I paid the fine or pled guilty. And he convinced me, and I'm difficult to convince, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, that just kind of sent me on a 3-4 year knowledge grab, you know what I mean? Or an information grab, you know? And, even with what I know, which is more than most people, I mean, about this kind of stuff, I'm still stuck here. You know what I mean? I'm still stuck here, even though I knew what I knew what I was trying to get at in the so-called hearing. I knew what my points were, and they just blew through all of my questions without answering one of them, basically. And just kept proceeding.
Yeah, they did. You got to ask them again. You know, you can't let them do that. And that's going to be, you know, pretty much opposing everything that so-called judge is trying to do, because he's not acting as a judge. He's acting, you know, he's in cahoots with the prosecutor, you know, who doesn't have jurisdiction. And they didn't say what jurisdiction they're operating under, the court. It's all a sham, man. You know, you can't let them roll forward on anything, you know. And I got to the point where, you know, that included being searched at the door. I don't consent to it. You know?
Maybe I'll just go line by line from this hearing in the demand, you know.
Yeah, write down all the things that you see that you wish you would have done different, and go back on them on paper.
Sure.
Everything they move forward with, you want to go back with it on it.
Sure. Sure.
Yep.
And so, all right. So basically, you're suggesting a special appearance and demand for dismissal all in one document.
Yeah. And that you're challenging jurisdiction.
That's what the special appearance would be, correct?
Right. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and that and you correct your status as representing yourself with that too. That you're en propria persona. You're not representing yourself. And no plea was put in. That's declaration of non-consent.
Yep.
You didn't consent. Yeah, you can only plead. You have to enter into that knowingly, intentionally, and voluntarily.
Not only did I not do that, I objected to it when he did. You know what I mean? So that's
don't volunteer. They need you to volunteer. Don't do it.
Right. Right. Well, yeah. I mean, do you have anything in conclusion or anything to wrap it up? Or
well, I commend you, man, for fighting them. And it's good. Something like that. The stakes aren't too high. Where you're gaining experience, and you get results you can show other people, and hopefully get some people off the sidelines on this thing, man.
Sure. And this is not the first, video that I've dropped on this subject. You know what I mean? I have dropped a few videos on this subject. I have made a few community posts on it on Right to Travel. I'm not an expert on it by any means, but if you guys want to see any of my stuff, I am at NorthCentralMNPress. I don't know if you let your viewers know. My channel name is NorthCentralMNPress. I have what I think 43 videos and probably 100 community posts. When I get a response to an email or something like that, I'll post it on my community tab. So if any of your viewers want to follow this story, there will be follow up on this story.
Yeah, cool. Yep, law-abiding Minnesotan.
Yeah, they're
recommend their channel, man.
Win, lose, or draw. I'm kind of
winning's the only option, man. Winning's the only option. It's not over until you give up. And you just got to make it so much work for them where they're like, man, I'm not going to bother with it, because they don't have it,
Sure.
So, if you put in 3 different things, it doesn't stop them. Put in 3 more,
Sure, because you can appeal this, all the way up, literally, to the Supreme Court if you had to, right?
That's what the angle I was going at is like to exhaust the local remedies. I could show by paper, hey, I tried resolving this thing, But hey, would you got your computer there with you can pull up a video?
Yeah, I got one. Which one do you want to see?
I want to show you the last time I was not voluntarily, but by my own 2 feet, I went there to court.
Sure.
Since I've been there since, and in chains only. But that one that was it's called I Don't Consent. My one video. I thought that was the audio is not that great, but you can hear it. That's the point that I got to with these people.
I'm gonna put it on my watch list for later here.
So I was wondering if you could play it, man.
Yeah, play it. Yeah.
Check that out. So the best I had at that time,
Channel name's Christopher Real, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said it was I Don't Consent. It's a video or a live video?
Yeah, that's the name of it. Yeah, it's a video. But it's just an audio, so it'd be good to play on the.
About how long ago was it?
That was in April.
April.
And that was the time I'm going there a month prior to that.
Here.
A month prior to that, they sent me to jail, contempt of court. When I went to court, this was the month after that.
Is that North Collins?
Yeah.
21 minute.
Is it that long? Yeah.
That's four. That's 4 months ago only. That would have been like June. Or no, that would have been.
That must be when I put the video out. But the court date is from April.
Sure. Here it is, right here.
The beginnings. I'm just walking in there and stuff. Should have edited that out. I didn't know how to edit videos, I think, when I put that one out. I edited them a couple recently that, because I go and take a piss when I go in there, especially when they tell me to go ahead and sit down, you know. I would go to the bathroom, so I wasn't doing something that they told me to do.
Told you, yeah.
Plus, I had to piss anyway, you know.
You guys were not both the Constitution. You heard of the Fourth Amendment? So I don't consent. Well, you're not taking the bag in. So it's your choice. I don't consent. You can leave it out here. Is there even a hearing? Yeah. Proof of service fingerprinted tonight. So is there proof of service process? Gave it to you last time. She was here.
It's breaking up.
Yeah, it's not real clear.
Yeah.
It's not playing it?
Oh, it's playing it. It's just tough to hear.
I could hear it, but it was like cutting out.
Proof of service process. So they can either stay out here. That's fine. I don't want to be here anyway. So I'm not here voluntarily. Gave you that I've got anything when you were here. What down anything with their system. So all we have right is on the paper. You're going to get fingerprinted tonight. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Why is that? Their system's up and running, so we're going to get your fingerprinted here. So the process can move forward. We've got to get done in order for the process to move forward. My property, I have to make a big deal of time. So you can't arbitrarily fingerprint me. You've been charged with a crime. No, I haven't. Where's the indictment? So, where's the indictment? Probable cause. What's the indictment? So, not the segregation. So, actually, I heard this very
Well, I don't know what that noise is, man.
when you go inside the judge room. But you're either I'm going to look in that or you're not going in. I'm not trying to be third. It's like you just look at it. You leave the bag out here. You know, before no go fault the Constitution. So you can leave the bag out here. What's the big deal with the bag? I have to look in it before you go. I'm not consenting to one. I'd like to see proof of service process. Well, the judge has that when you get inside. I'd like to see on probable cause. And I'd like to confirm accuser. Somebody's doing. Well, that's what the proceedings are for, is they move along. Yeah. Well, you have to get arraigned on the charges tonight. And we can't do the arraignment until you're fingerprinted, so that's why you're going to get fingerprinted tonight. Then you can get arraigned and the process will move forward. The fingerprints on my property. So they can't order it. I did, I'd like to know why. Where's my motorcycle? I don't know what your motorcycle is. I don't know nothing about a motorcycle. Okay. Well, so I need my property returned. Not in order to give up any more of my property.
Something real quick here. You were telling them some of your rights, and those are in criminal prosecutions, which this isn't yet, you know.
Yeah, right. You know, I was still treating them as if they're you know, actual government. You know, but they do pretend to be, you know, so I think it's still valid, you know, to raise those questions.
You brought up
But,
some you brought up some Sixth Amendment rights, and it's almost easier to defend yourself against like a murder charge than it is for one of these petty misdemeanor traffic violations.
Well, this isn't a petty misdemeanor. I mean, they were threatening me with like 30 years in prison. Add it all up.
Right. But what you were talking about, that's all criminal process stuff you were talking about, you know?
Well, I don't have to waive rights. You know, I can't be compelled to waive rights. You know, it's the whole thing was he wanted to search my bag, you know, and I didn't consent to it. You know, I'm not going to waive rights.
Sure.
So that was my strategy going in, and you know, but then I was just asking other questions, you know, and he's trying to get me to acknowledge things like you've been charged with a crime. I said, no, I haven't. Where's the indictment?
Yep, I heard that. And
where's the proof of service of process? I also said that I heard there was a hearing. I heard through the grapevine there was a hearing tonight. Is there even a hearing? Because I wasn't given proper service of process, you know, like you would have to do to sue somebody. You can't just drop a letter in the mail and you know, attach some obligation to somebody.
Sure.
But if you're gonna play the rest of that, you got that real close to the speaker maybe, because it's getting like feedback noises.
Yeah, I know. It's
maybe back it off of there a little bit. I wonder if that'll help.
It sounds like it's rubbing against something, the recorder.
Well, yeah, it was a little bit, but I don't know. It sounds worse than I listened to that quite a few times.
You want to see the judge? Not really. I need on proof of service process. You know, probable cause. I don't know what the reason for this hearing. You know, I wasn't because you were arrested. Correct. Yeah, I wasn't served. You were arrested. Were you arrested? I'm showing papers. The judge had. Not me, the judge.
They're trying to get you in this courtroom.
Yeah, I'm in the hallway where he wanted to search my bag. I said, I don't consent. Yeah, he's trying to talk me in there. He's telling me shit he has no idea even about. I said, oh, where's my motorcycle? I said, you know, demanded for my fingerprints. That's my property. I'm not giving up any of my property. I want my property returned to me. Where's my motorcycle? You know?
The judge will explain that to you. I don't want to talk to the judge.
Yeah, she has it. I said, is there even a hearing? Is there proof of service of process? You know, I don't consent to a search. I haven't been charged. Where's the indictment?
And that's the thing. You know, in my case, I have not been served with a single shred of paper.
You should be challenging that. That's part of your special appearance. Challenging the service of process in the jurisdiction.
The only thing I got, I haven't been served with anything.
Got to challenge that and stop emailing with them clowns.
Sure. Yeah,
no
I
phone
noticed.
Calls, no email. You know,
that hasn't done a lot of good. I've noticed.
That's not gonna, man. You know, anything you said, they'll act like they didn't hear it, and then they'll tell you they told you something, you know, by email, and you're accepting it. You know.
Sure. But I think you're onto something with this in writing thing, you know.
I mean, so too.
You notice the judge didn't say anything about any emails, didn't say anything about any phone calls, but what he did bring up was the affidavits because he had to, you know.
Wouldn't respond to the content of your affidavit, you know, and I saw it. It was nice and neat, man, you know, and but just said it looked like it was written on the back of a napkin, totally disregarding it.
Right.
So it was not written. Do you need that in writing then? If that's going to be his judicial determination, you know, but it was unrebutted. So that, you know, everything you said stands. You know, he didn't rebut it because he can't rebut it. That prosecutor, and he has no standing. There's no proof of personal jurisdiction. It's not a criminal matter. Where's the plaintiff then? You know, who's the injured party? Where's the contract?
And my affidavits ask all of that.
Yeah, right. So send it to him again.
Sure.
Send it to him again. And, that wasn't responded. So, the only thing they could do is dismiss it. Unrebutted affidavit, and he wants to say he heard from Officer Smedley that you ran a stop sign. Well, where is Officer Smedley?
Right.
Where is he? He's not here. Well, this should be thrown out. The damn cop, he wants to cause problems in your life like that, and he can't be bothered to show up. Well, then throw it out. Where the hell is he? I made that mistake, but I think I should have challenged that right off the bat when the cop wasn't there.
He's
Big
listed.
deal out of it, but you got to stick to a couple things.
Yep.
You don't even get to the point that the cop's not there because you contest the fact that he should even be there.
And they're listed as a witness. It says you have the right to confront witnesses, or you have the right to confront your accuser.
So where is he? He's the one that made that whole thing happen, and he's not there.
Yeah, and I don't think, does he not have to show up until trial? I don't think, does he?
It depends, man. You got to raise those issues. I heard of getting thrown out because the cop wasn't there, but I didn't really raise that issue. I was saying, is this a court of record and in the service of process, and that I wanted to see these warrants. That's why it's easy to get lost in all, man, because there's so many things that they're doing that's fucked up.
Right. And I and I mean, these things come to mind, but you're just wondering what's going to make the judge stop and have to answer. You know what I mean?
Save himself, man. That's it. Don't ever make the mistake of appealing to their good nature. You'd be forgetting that they don't have any.
Right.
You can be as polite as you want, man, but have your position and you stand on it, man. You can't be wavered in it. Not because he said it again. Well, you say your point again. You can't move forward.
I just knew that in a criminal prosecution, they have to inform me of the nature and cause of the accusation.
Right. So he said it's not criminal. That's civil then. So where's the injured? Where's the plaintiff? What is the matter? Before, there's no plaintiff there. If you wanted to sue me for a breach of contract and, you went to the court, got a day on the docket, went through service of process, had me served and everything. And then you didn't show up, what do you think would happen? They'd say, oh, well, we don't know why he's not here. We'll try to get a hold of him. We'll set it for another date down the road. No, it'd be default judgment in your favor.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Or in my favor, whatever, if you were suing me. So that's how it works, man. But, they just roll forward with bullshit, man. But you could, just go back on all that stuff on paper. And this one,
I guess what I would
objected to any more hearings being scheduled. He tried telling me something, and I said I don't accept any more hearings being scheduled on this matter. If you listen that one we're listening to now.
Yeah, I'll keep playing it here.
Do you hear what I said there?
Unless you serve me with the proper paperwork, there's no reason for me to be here. Didn't you say that?
Yeah, I said I don't want to be here. He goes, well, you can't go in with the bag. I said, that's fine. I don't want to be here anyways. Unless I'm presented with the proper paperwork, there's no reason for me to be here.
I kind of said something like that in mine. He says, "Is that going to be enough time?" And I'm like, "What are you asking me for, man? I objected to the plea."
Yeah, he smoothed you over into agreeing to it. Yes, we got, yeah, so then he's trying to get me fingerprinted too, and I will not, I made that mistake before. Did you hear what he said though? Well, we can't get you arraigned until we get you fingerprinted, so we're gonna get you fingerprinted tonight. I said, no, you're not.
So the process can move forward, he says.
Right, yeah, the arraignment's gotta happen, so, you know, so the motions can happen, and that's gotta happen so the trial can happen. Well, you know, I don't have the proper paperwork to even be there for a hearing. You know, I wasn't even properly notified of a hearing, and if they can't arraign me till they get my fingerprints, well, what does that tell you then? Don't get fingerprinted.
Right. That makes sense. It's not a crime to not get fingerprinted, is it?
They can't compel me to be fingerprinted prior to a conviction. The case law that Davis versus Mississippi and People versus Halvern, that prior to conviction, compulsory fingerprinting violated the defendant's Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination.
What are they alleging you did here?
I don't know what that one was for. I had 4 or 5 different so-called cases in that court.
What happened?
The one with the fingerprinting that they were saying that was for the assault on a police officer, the felony.
What happened with it?
I don't know. It died on the vine. They failed to bring me. I demanded for a probable cause hearing. They kicked my door in, and I was in jail in June, and I demanded for a probable cause hearing, and they never took me to it from the jail. And then I couldn't get any paperwork out of them. You know, I requested it several times. You know, now they're making threats saying they have a warrant for my arrest and shit. Now it's a nightmare. That's why that shit's got to be stopped in the beginning. But I learned it on the fly, man. You know, and I did the best I could. You know.
Yeah.
But it's better to stop it, man, in its earliest stages. You know, when people say don't argue on the side of the road, well, that's your first chance to end the damn thing. You know.
Yes. And
you do have to argue on the side of the road, man. You know, every argument you can have. You know.
That's
like people say that. You know, people that say that, it's like they still believe that the court is an honorable venue or something. You know. Oh, again, just so raise those issues in the court. Yeah. Well, they're the ones behind the fucking shit, man. Why they're getting people roped in there to go and extort them for money, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so that logic doesn't work. You know, people that say, "Oh, just sue them." Well, most people don't have the skill set, man, to do that. You know, you can't just start off with that. I don't think. You know, people don't know how to do that, and attorneys won't.
You're already under the gun because they give you these deadlines with these hearings that are scheduled for you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, we got to find ways to stop that, man, before you even get this far that you have, you know. But
right.
We got plenty of ways to beat them, man. But you know, all these stages that advance forward, you got to go back on them.
And so I'm trying to find time in my life to write to write in for a special appearance and demand a dismissal. I don't have time to write up a complaint and a summons and have it served. And you know what I mean?
You don't have to get that. You don't have to get that. To sue them, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
While it's going on, you know what I mean? And how far is your suit gonna get if you're convicted in your criminal case, or in my case, a non-criminal case? You know, I mean, how far?
I think you just need to you got to stop them. You know, you got to go on the offensive to some extent.
Yeah, I agree.
But, you might not do everything right on this one, man, but you'll get through it, you know, and then you'll know what to do again next time, you know.
I tell you what, last time and back in 21 with the speed, I wrote a motion to dismiss a month before that trial. And the arraigning judge told me the same thing that this arraigning judge told me. And I got that motion in right away. Never heard a word about it until the trial date. And the judge said, "Oh, I just read your motion today. It's denied." You know,
Yeah, they're railroading you, man.
Yep.
They're ignoring everything you say, and they're just giving you some bullshit excuse. That's why you got to do it in writing and require responses only in writing. And stop emailing them, man. Stop talking to them on the phone. You only accept on paper, man. Everything else is just a charade, man. You know, the paper is the only thing that
I don't think you can.
record.
I don't think a demand for dismissal is the only thing you can, you need to file. I think you got to set that up a little bit, don't you?
No, you could send them, what is it, notice of,
Well, like I did with my affidavits. Okay, maybe they'll be able to blow through a motion to dismiss or a demand for dismissal if that's the only thing you filed. You know what I mean? But if they're blowing through affidavits and they're blowing through memorandums and they're blowing through,
no, you can't let them, man. You can't let them. You got to keep going back to that. I did that in court, and that was for a felony too, and I won that. I won that one. I just kept going back to. I challenged the prosecutor's jurisdiction, that he had personal jurisdiction, and that he didn't respond to my affidavit. And then I demanded a trial by jury in a common law court, and that seemed to have did him in.
Yeah.
He wanted to meet with me, yeah, and I didn't pay a penny with that.
Sure. So it can be done.
But I went to court 10 times. You know, I went to jail a couple times on it.
And I don't think there's any one way to do this. I mean, it's not like a science or anything, you know.
There's tons of different ways, man. That's part of the problem. There's so many different avenues. You could get lost on it, man. You know, you got to identify all the problems and then find the ones that you're most confident about, you know, that you know the best, and stick with them, you know.
Yep. And the problem in these petty misdemeanors with the Fourth Amendment argument, you know, unlawful seizure, you know, no reasonable articulable suspicion of criminal activity. Like, what evidence are you trying to suppress? There's no evidence. There's not even evidence to suppress. You know?
Don't even talk about the facts, you know. It's all the process.
Sure.
But this one was Jackie Fig had on there, when courts or counties acting against you are not in legal compliance, serve them with lawful direction for abatement at law due to facially void summons. And I like that idea a lot.
Can you read that one more time?
It says, when courts or counties acting against you are not in legal compliance, serve them with lawful direction for abatement at law due to facially void summons.
That's an interesting one. I have to look into that a little more.
Yeah, and all those words, you know, it doesn't say a motion, you know, a lawful direction for abatement. You're directing them to abate.
Sure.
Abatement at law. The facially void summons. So why go any further than that? You know, you weren't properly directed to be anywhere, to do anything. So that, you know, how could you possibly put in a plea when you weren't they weren't in compliance, you know, with their procedure? But you can't cite the points and authorities on that unless you get them to acknowledge what jurisdiction they're operating under.
Right.
That makes them prove, you know, that it wasn't void, that it wasn't valid. You know, that's why I kept going back to the warrant. They're saying they had a warrant. I need to see that warrant. You know, and they can't produce it. So, you know, there's nowhere to go. And then, you know, but they'll just make you go round and round. They'll set other hearings, man. You know, I went to so many damn so-called hearings, and they're never going to do the right thing, man. You really got to put some pressure on them.
Yeah, and you got a little more experience than I do with this. I've been to 2 so-called hearings in my life. You know what I mean? 3.
I went to some 70, man, something like that in a few years.
Right. And
7. Did you see that one video I got? The whole table's covered in the phony little invitations.
no, I don't. I don't think I did see that.
Yeah, it's a good one. Let's see if we can hear that any good. If not, we'll stop listening to it. But it was pretty good. How I thought how this one ended. That
I don't consent.
yeah, yeah. I was taking notes right there.
What is that? You got regular hours? You have 6 to midnight. There's someone always at the.
It's obvious at this point that I'm not going into that courtroom. It's, I'm asking them what their hours are over there to get information.
How many people do we have in this live anyway, boss?
1.
Oofda.
Yeah. Hopefully people watch it later.
Right.
Kind of late. Yeah. Can we listen to the rest of this one? See if we can hear it. Wrap it up, huh?
Phone number? Write him a letter or what? Call the sheriff dispatch. He's not with the sheriff. No, he's a new guy. See if he's with him. I mean, it's not going right now, but, I've been over there and it's what I was like. It's been a while we posted. The car in front, no one's there. But
Yeah, that's what's nice about those Zoom hearings. You got a nice recording of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is that the law that you have to consent to having those Zoom hearings?
Yeah, there was the option to have an in-person hearing was crossed off and had NA written on it, like not available.
Yeah, but did you look up the law?
Yeah, I think the law says you have to be offered one. You know what I mean? You have to have one. I didn't push the issue.
Right, that's probably another issue you could have raised. And you could have hemmed them up on the council issue. But yeah, I don't know. I can't really hear that too good. Maybe try to forward it. I don't know. I was standing there, but at that point, I think everyone knew that I wasn't going in there. Just by not consenting to being searched.
Yeah, what ended up happening then? Did you have to go
Yeah,
back?
play it. Play it. Let's see if we can hear it. Is it playing?
Yeah. It's about 10 minutes left.
Yeah, maybe might try to forward it a little bit. I don't remember if I was standing around there or what happened.
Nature and cause, you brought it up too.
Yep, to the bailiff.
Warrant, indictment, warrant verified complaint, giving you paperwork every time you get your documents. Give you more.
That's the thing with these criminal charges. You know your 6A rights are intact. With these petty misdemeanor non-criminal, it's like they don't apply because it's not a
Well,
criminal.
they don't have the petty misdemeanors here. They call them infractions.
Same
Or,
thing. Yeah.
They're just calling it something so they don't have to do something, but they're they need you to waive away rights. That's why with this one, getting searched, I don't consent. I'm not waiving any rights.
Right.
Simple, That's what we need is just simple solutions, man, to stop them in their tracks, man, before the thing even gets off ground, because they need you to breathe life into it. They need you to. To stop it from. That's why I decided that day. I'm not getting searched. I'm not waiving rights. I'm not waiving any rights. I don't want to be there. I'm there under threat, duress, and coercion. I'm not waiving any rights. And it worked. It worked. I didn't end the thing there, but I made my point. I ended it for that day. When you're in that deep, already. Sometimes you're happy with that. Sometimes to end that hearing, you're going home.
Did you spend the night in the cell or?
A month before that, I did when I went to that court. They sent me to jail for contempt of court, and I was in there for 33 hours.
Right, but on this particular deal where you're not going into court.
No, I left that day. A month before. That's why I had an attitude, man, because a month before I went in there, playing their stupid little game, and they sent me to jail.
Well, no.
You got about 3 minutes left of it here.
Okay.
Let me see. Oh, that's just your name.
Yeah, it's breaking up pretty bad. I don't know. I have to figure out a better way to do that next time. But I could hear your hearing fine, huh?
Yeah. This audio recorder, it's in your pocket or wherever it is, it's kind
the recording's better than that though. Then I can hear it. It's breaking up and stuff. I don't know.
Any more hearings being scheduled on these matters. I haven't been afforded the right to confront my accuser. I haven't been presented with any evidence against an indictment, warrants, warrant verified.
I started going off on a whole bunch of things there. That's how easy it is to get. There's so many problems with it.
It's adjourned until next month, sir.
And I would like proper service and process. The wedding signature and the seal. Is your address still the same? What's your current address? I don't consent being searched. Unfortunately, it's unreasonable search and seizure. I told him to leave the bag out here. I don't want to leave it out here. I go on. I put some in. So you want to reschedule it? Combine documents. You can provide me. You can give it to him. He goes in front of it. Just you can provide me the process, and on receipt of that, I will respond to it. Okay. All right, then there's more. I require property.
What do you say? We'll try again next month?
Yeah. And I told him I don't consent to any more hearings being scheduled on these matters.
That's right out on.
Yeah, and they want to schedule another date, then I require proper service to process.
Yeah.
You know, they try to get you in there on the first time, and then get you roped in, and then string it along from there. You know, with these informal notifications.
Yeah.
You know, and the threat of you not going there, they'll come and kidnap you and rob you.
Right.
And put you in a cage. You know, so it's not criminal, but look at the you know, the consequences. You know, the threats that are being made, but it's not criminal. But you know, what are they going to do to you if you just ignore it? You know, then they'll, you know, just a traffic ticket like that, improperly handled, man, they'll escalate, double down on the shit, you know. Next thing you know, they'll be kicking your door in, but.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's what.
But they'll say it's not a criminal matter, but that's what they raise the stakes to, you know.
Right. So they turn a non-criminal matter into a criminal matter. That's kind of what I asked that state trooper that seized me there a few weeks back. He asked for my ID, and I said, "Well, do you suspect me of a crime?" And he's like, "Speeding infraction." I'm like, "Is that a crime?" You know, oops, I got autoplay going on here. So yeah, no, I get it. I tell you what, man, my brain's kind of mush. I'm pretty tired. I had a heck of a day, man.
Yeah, I hear you.
Long, rough day.
All right, cool, man. Well, I hope you got something out of that. And your viewers did. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We got two in the house. Not sure who you are, but thank you for coming. And oh, you have rights, cops have duties. Should get the Second Amendment. You want to hop on there, man? All right, Minnesota, you cutting out, man?
Yeah, man, I'm out, buddy.
All right, that was cool, brother. To do this again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks.
I'll talk to you soon, man. Peace.
Okay, take it easy.
You have rights, cops have duties. You want to come up here, man? Let's see if I can figure out how to do this. I think I got it. Hang on a minute. I dropped that link. Hit that link. You have rights, cops have duties. Should get the Second Amendment. Boy, that's a long name. Hit that link, bro. There he is. All right. What's happening, man?
Hey.
How the hell's it going?
It's going all right. You know, I live in a different place now, so it's that's not the coolest part. But I mean, it's hella badass here. But you know, it's just my family's not here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks, man. Well, it's good and it's, you know, good and
What's
bad.
up? I can't.
Good and bad, you know.
Yeah.
You don't need to got Jim Bass in here fucking threatening to shove stuff up your ass.
Well, it's plus more than that because you know I complained about that threat the first time in 2022, and they never stopped him. They in fact just helped him, and then even escalated everything to where I had no other choice but to defend myself, and then started prosecuting me for my defenses. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's basically I'm still being harassed, dude. I'm still harassed. In fact, now I'm just to the point right now where you know then I'm threatened. My life is threatened because they want to either take me in or be violent to me in some other way. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean, man. I'm in the same got the same problem. But you know, now that you got him at arm's length, man, you know, think you gonna hit him with some papers, you know, to pin him down. We don't have
Yeah,
to worry about the imminent threat of their violence, you know, and shit, you know.
I'd
'Cause,
love to hit him with all the papers I could hit him with. You know what I mean?
start with one, you know, start with one good one, you know. That's what I'm doing, man.
Yeah.
I had to get my stuff organized, man, to be able to move forward with my process, you know. And I did that, and coming together now. I'm following up on these FOIL requests, and I got some other strategies. But yeah, it just
Yeah.
comes, you know, whatever it is, putting pen to paper, man, seems to, you know, um,
Mhm.
I mean, they can answer for what they've done, you know, but I got, you know, to start it and not finish it, I think makes it more dangerous, you know. They want to intimidate you into not putting in further complaints, you know, because you put in one and then they fucking do something that fucking dirty to you, you know. And
For right now, I've tried to do while I'm working on a cease and desist that I'm gonna send certified mail. You know what I mean? That's like what I'm gonna do for right now.
that sounds good, yeah. That sounds good.
It says something about cease to the harassment, you know, and any form and fashion that they were harassing me in, you know.
Yeah,
I
cease and
can't remember.
desist. And
Huh?
you know, send them a bill too for your time, and you know.
Yeah, I should send him a bill for my time.
Yeah, that'd be a good place to start. You know, and I bet you get those done and sent out. You'll know what the next one is to do. You know, did you put in FOIL request?
Not yet.
I think that gets them.
My family was asking my family was asking me if they could contact you to because I've called you off my wife's phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
My family was like, "Can we contact Christopher Real to see if he'll put in some FOIA requests from where he's at?" And there was a couple other ones, the tribe and a couple other guys that I usually talk to, that they were gonna. My family, now that I'm gone, my family's really trying to work real hard to get me able to come home. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
It's kind of trippy. You know, some things have to change for things to change. You know.
Right, and it seems like the only way to do that is like to send papers out to, you know, to pin them down. You know. Other than
Yeah.
that, you know, if it's still hanging out there, and you know, they're gonna paint you to be a bad guy. You know.
Oh yes, they are now. If I don't show up, they're gonna say that I'm
Well,
guilty.
show up on paper. You know, send them
Yeah.
notice of special appearance, challenge jurisdiction. You know, demanded it be dismissed, and then you know, they didn't respond to that. You already told them why you're not there. You know, they didn't answer your question.
You know, if I was on camera threatening one of them, I would have already been in jail. They would have had the evidence to lock me up by now.
Oh, I know.
See what I'm saying?
They beat me up, and Pig beat me up in my driveway, and then charged me with felony assault in the second degree on a police officer. Yeah, they're lying. The more dirty they do you, is the more they fucking trump up their bullshit.
You don't see them. You don't see any single one of them moving away from the county because they're threatened about what I could do to them. You know what I mean?
They think they're untouchable, man. And you know, I get sick of doing this paperwork too, man, and even thinking about it. You know, but that's the only way I could, you know, like put it down, and you know, I'm done with it. You know,
the forefathers
get this far, but I didn't know what I was doing at first. You know.
Yeah, I think that we talked about this before, but the forefathers, they knew that litigation was a long, lengthy process and that we shouldn't have to go through it every single day of our lives. That's why we were supposed to have the pursuit of liberty and happiness.
Right.
Life, liberty, and happiness.
We're supposed to have a public prosecutor too.
Yeah, we're supposed to be defended by the public defender, or I mean, not the public defender, but the attorney, prosecuting attorney is supposed to be, you know, there for the people, not for, you know, however I was trying to say, district attorney. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, the district attorney is supposed to be our attorney.
Exactly. It's supposed to be the public prosecutor.
Yeah. He's supposed to prosecute any of these public bastards that come that try to take our rights away.
Yep.
And you know,
they turned it on the people. The people are funding it, and they're raising armies to enslave them when they're supposed to be defending them against bad government actors. You know,
we're not supposed to be spending our lives learning the laws. We're supposed to have county attorneys that already know the laws, that are supposed to be making sure that we get a proper mediation, you know, and a proper redressal.
Yeah, they're not doing that, are they?
No, they're not. They're intimidating us, putting us in a corner, and then making sure that if we don't, you know, run for our lives, that they'll just put us away in a cage somewhere for the time of our life.
Right. So we got to look. So, you know, got to end it. We can only do that.
If they knew, if you could be looking at a mere a measly 5 years, but if they take you into county and they kneel on your neck and then say you committed suicide in your cell, then you're not, you know, it doesn't matter the shortness of the time that you could get on these charges. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. They've been violent with me 3 occasions. I mean, every time when they put in handcuffs is violence, is act of violence, you know, but it's all violence. No.
You know, I was looking at my charges, and the charges are my biggest charge is a gross misdemeanor that could be a Category C felony. That's what it says on the paperwork. So I'm waiting to see what they do with that on the warrant, because are they gonna hype it up to a felony without even having a due process hearing that says whether it's, you know, because it's a gross misdemeanor unless they can prove that they have the sufficient evidence to make it a felony. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I shouldn't just get a felony warrant, because they should have to prove that it's supposed to be a felony before I get a felony warrant. So I wonder if they give me a gross misdemeanor warrant or a fucking felony warrant. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what they did to me. They made it a felony so they could pretend that they were, you know, there was this big thing that they were. That's when they came and kicked my door in.
They did that so they could pretend that it was like a bigger thing than what it was, so they could, you know, excite more violence.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Sorry, it was cool because I was staying next to a highway, in my tent, I use a tarp that I make into like a tent,
Yeah.
and heard this dude rummaging around my tent in the morning time, like right when the sun was like it was still blue outside. The sun wasn't even up over the mountains. It was just morning light, And I looked out there and I see this dude out there, and he's like 10 yards from my tent, just rummaging around in something things that was next to the highway. And I called him over, and he came over to my tent, and I put out one of my pads. It was like a plastic pad that was like for sleeping on, camping on. I
Yeah.
put that out there so he could sit down, and then I made some tuna fish. I had lime mayonnaise, and what other? There was another mayonnaise. There was a lime mayonnaise. Then there was another, maybe a jalapeno mayonnaise, and then there was like there was like a awesome uh, mustard that I put in there, and we ate that, and I shared that with him, and then he thought that was pretty cool, and then he invited me back to his house and everything. So then uh, I stayed here for like 4 nights, and then went to back out next to the highway for a couple nights, and then I came back over here, or he came and got me, and we came back over here. I've been over here for quite a while, but this dude, it was pretty badass because I'm staying in a tent, and around here the street people stay in a tent. You know what I mean? So when he saw me staying in a tent, and then I was nice to him. I wasn't like all like stupid to him. You know what I mean? So he freaking took me around he introduced me to all these streets here, dude, and fucking I got like 4 or 5 friends already from like the street, you know what I mean? Like, don't know how to
Yeah.
explain that to you, but you know what I'm talking about probably.
Yeah, man. Everyone's a little different, but and I haven't been on the streets since seems like homelessness exploded, man. Since the pandemic. When I see mine.
Freaking I didn't know what to expect when I came down, whatever, but I already knew a little bit of, the language and this and that from growing up in Nevada, and there's all of that, so, it's not that big of a deal. And then like to have a friend like I have that's, really badass, where it's like two lions, two young lion males that don't have a pride, that are running around the forest just doing what the fuck they want. That's how it is right now for me and this dude. Because it's pretty badass because we both get on. I came down here with a bicycle, and like a 21 speed, 26-inch bicycle, and he got about the same thing. So we just kick around this fucking place, doing what the fuck we want. You know what I mean? And it's like one of the scariest towns in the whole world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crazy. It's fun though. It kind of reminds me of living in Reno, Nevada, dude, but only a little bit. That people knife fight around here a little bit more than Reno, Nevada.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, I've already seen me a knife fight and everything, dude, on Christmas Eve, dude. Christmas, I guess, brings out the fucking, the heart on everybody, and it makes everybody all, how indoctrinated tradition makes everybody think that you're supposed to be more on these days, and and then the emotions run high and shit.
People are stressed the fuck out, man. I don't pay attention to them holidays.
Yeah.
When I used to listen
Same
to the
here.
radio, man, you get bombarded with the shit, you know?
Uh-huh. You get bombarded, just like you say. It's a full bombardment. Yeah, and then there was tensions running high on the Christmas Eve, dude, and it went from freaking camaraderie to pinche tu madre and all this other shit, and some nice coming out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Real quick, it was pretty cool. Oh, I mean, it wasn't cool, but it was like, you know, hey. And what was funny was, you know, like in the United States, we would fight with our fists first, then maybe move on to the knives, then move on to the guns, right? But here it's straight to the knives and then maybe the guns.
Well, you know, that might stop a lot of fights, you know, if you know the guy's going to pull a knife on you, maybe you decide you don't want to fight after all.
Oh, yeah. No, they don't want to fight very long.
And this
You know what I mean?
a lot of flexing and shit. People don't really want to fight. They just want to, you know, flex and run their mouths and shit.
At times, yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I just wrote.
But yeah, when you have the ability to defend, what's up?
I just wrote a couple letters tonight, man. I finally got organized, got this moving back along. Pretty happy with them.
Yeah.
They hope you don't. They hope you don't do it. You know, the bullshit excuses they give you and stuff. They want you to give up. You know.
You know, when a guy is supposed to have a lot more rights than a guy got, there's not a whole lot of this stuff that they should be able to hope for. You know, I have dyslexia and shit. It makes it hard to fucking, you know, write, you know, and read. You know, I can do it, but it makes it hard. You know what I mean? It's like when you're looking at the sun and you want to say sun, but you say moon on accident instead because your brain you're going to say sun right there. You're looking at the sun, you mean sun, but you accidentally said moon first instead, like in that instance. That's what dyslexia is. You know what I mean? And it's hard to break that. There's no breaking it. It's just something that it's like a tick. It's like it's ingrained into my memory to have this way of not being able to say the right things. But at the same time, dude, my dyslexia and my poor ability to write like perfectly is a setback, but it shouldn't be. I should be able to go out there in the streets, use my voice for protest, stir up a big ass stink, and not even have to use my pen. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you should be able to, but the pen's mightier than the sword. You know, things you say that will get taken out of context. You know, and writing is better too because you have the time to sit down and like carefully choose your words. You know, whereas
Yeah.
you're on the spot. You know, like a street fight. You know, with just orally expressing yourself. But I was just watching the video of yours the other day, man. Where you went in there, you were in the town hall, and they're obstructing you in the FOIL process, I believe.
Well, they weren't really instructing me in the FOIL process.
Obstructing.
Oh yeah, definitely obstructing it. Definitely obstructing it.
And they think it's a joke, man. You know, nobody's ever done this shit before. You know, so it might not be as hard, you know, to beat them as we've built up in our minds that it is, man. You know, because most people don't think they can be fought at all. You know, and the fact that nobody's really tried to, you know, we might have that shit built up in our minds, man. You know, the only way to find out is to put them papers in. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gotta get the fucking
hill, you know, but that's the route I decided to go. So I'm gonna follow through. I gotta exercise due diligence and not just there's no use, you know, with these criminals, you know. can't say that if I didn't try, you know. And I got
No, I fully believe there's a use. You know, I fully believe that the people that are able to write these papers and everything should not be not doing that, because it's not just a waste of time. It's putting something in that they can't just like, you know, slap aside. It's not an oral complaint. It's a fucking written complaint.
Yeah, this one here, I got, they sent me an invoice for one of my FOIL requests for $13,765. And
wow.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of money, man, even if I did, you know. But so I wrote him, I just got done writing this just now. Attention appeals officer. And I got my information there at the top.
Yeah.
Handwritten. And
yeah, that's a pretty nice little straight to do paragraph right there.
You like that? Yeah, I'm getting better, man.
Yeah.
I'm getting better at it.
Yeah, that's cool.
It says, Chief DeGrasso, I'm writing this letter to appeal the invoice dated 11/21/2023 in regards to the FOIL request for documents concerning an incident on 6/02/2023. The amount of $13,765 seems extremely high, and I am requesting that this be reevaluated and to send me a more definitive statement with particularized and specific itemized invoice. I have enclosed copies of the FOIL request I am referring to and the invoice I received. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
It's good.
And then the other one,
you know,
I wrote it, that guy another
you're being respectful and all that, you know.
Yeah,
hopefully,
you know.
Hopefully it goes somewhere for you. You know what I mean? I hope it goes somewhere for you.
I hope, man. That's what they do. They just put a bullshit excuse out there, and they're hoping that you don't look up the law that they're citing, you know, that excuses them from it, and you know, and to write them another letter, you know. So I'm just gonna throwing it back to them, you know. This one says, I'm writing this to appeal the partial denial of my FOIL request related to an incident on 6/05/23. I have enclosed with this appeal letter the FOIL request and the denial letter that I am appealing. Reasons for denial were citing 89(2)(b)(3) and 87(2)(e)(3) of the New York State Public Officers Law. These, however, are not relevant and are not particularized or specific. I refer to 87(2) of the Freedom of Information Law. The denial of access shall not be based solely on the category or type of such record and shall be valid only when there is a particularized and specific justification for such denial. The other law cited was Title 11 of the Consolidated Law of New York, Section 308.4. Title 11 is Metropolitan Commuter Transportation Authority, which is not relevant and does not contain a Section 308.4. And then there were also several records requested which were not provided and no justification was given. These are the investigative report, complaints, investigative material, warrants, appearance tickets, summonses, affidavits, charging instruments, dash cam footage, surveillance camera footage, dispatch recordings, phone calls, cab camera footage, jail camera footage, full names of agents involved and in what capacity, accusations, oaths on file, and bond informations of those agents. I am still waiting for a response to these requests. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So, yeah, I got them done. I got them done today. Next, more FOIL requests. Yeah.
I have to get on my email to be able to read you the letters that me and my little sister have been working on for them.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, send it to me.
Yeah, my little sister, she helps me a lot with some of this stuff, which is badass, you know. You know, but I don't know. I hope it all works, because she like contacted the FBI and everything else and was trying. She has her hopes up pretty bad, you know, and I don't think that they're gonna show her that hopes matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just pretty ugly.
Yeah,
you know?
sure, it does matter, man. You can do it, man.
Yeah. You know,
Shit, I'm tired, man.
it's fucking horrible, dude. What the fuck? You know, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah, I'm glad you're safe, man. Take a little breather, man, but don't let off of them, man. You know, stick it to them now. You got, you know, at arm's length. Like anything I can help you, man, let me know.
Yeah. FOIA requesting, you know, Nevada isn't good on the FOIA requests in the first place. They think that they don't have to file FOIA requests. Nevada is really a piece of shit, dude. You gotta see it. But
well, yeah, you got to take the chance to expose the fraud, man. That they're not doing it, you know, because no one else is even asking for it.
Out of 50 states, they're 48.
In what?
In not in the government department, you know, like not filing papers that the people, not defending the people properly, not. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I'll get it to you. I'll email it to you so that you can look up your state in the percent in the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know New York is the least free state. It's rated as the least free.
Least free, huh?
Yeah, and people have been the last 3 years. More people have left New York than any other state.
Wow.
3 years. So we got that going. Got that going for us. You know.
Yeah.
I feel like
it's sad to know that about a place that you love, huh?
I don't love it, man. Here, you know, I don't. I didn't.
Well, you know,
realize,
you don't love the country around you, like you don't love the mountains and the trees and the forest.
I haven't left my house in probably 2 weeks. You know.
Yeah.
The motherfuckers coming here with guns the other day. So yeah, I feel like I can't get that pressure off me until I get through these papers, you know. And then
yeah,
you know,
you're under constant pressure.
Yeah, it sucks.
I hate that feeling.
Fucking right to travel. I don't even, you know, feel like I got the right to go in my own yard without risk of being ambushed. You know, it's real bullshit on a pretend warrant. You know, and nobody, no checks and balances. You know, they just, but that's because the people allowed them to get that bad, man, as it is. You know.
That's why I had to go away because, you know, it's the threat. You know, the threat has not stopped. The threat has just gotten worse, and more people have joined in to use the county funding, to use the county tools to harass me more. You know what I mean? They think it's cute. You know those videos, those cop videos going around a couple years ago where they were like, I'm feeling a little cute. I think I'm gonna go and do this to somebody tonight. You know what I mean? Do you remember that?
Not cute, man. It's not cute. It's not fucking cute at all.
Yeah, that's what the county that I live in, they fucking think I think that they think it's really cute what they're doing. You know what I mean? And I think that they've seen those videos, you know.
Yeah, it's not cute, man. I'm so sick of it. But
yeah,
man, people need to get off the sidelines, man. You know, the fucking court stuff. You know, it's all a fraud. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, remind me, Christopher Real, when the people stand up, form a skirmish line, and start moving forward on these bitches, and I'll get a blowtorch out and fucking cut the wall down. You know what I mean? To come in and join the line. But I'm not gonna sit there and be all singularity around a bunch of fucking sheep slaves that fucking don't think anything's wrong. And I'm sitting here trying to fucking beg for fucking them to follow the right law, and they're not going to follow the right law. And I don't have enough money to be anybody important in the United States. There is no equal rights. There is no rights. That's why I changed my name. It's not you have rights, cops have duties no more. It's you should have rights, and the cops should be getting the Second Amendment.
Yeah, well, you know, if you got to fight that hard for rights, you know, that you don't have them. You know, if I'm fighting for
them, but imagine when we don't have rights. Imagine what our kids and what our sisters' kids.
I have them, but I'm not being allowed to you know,
exercise them.
liberty. Yeah, they're being violated. I have them, and they're being violated. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, people really think that, oh, it's all in the name of safety. You know, give me a fucking break. You know, extortion and you know, threats of violence is safety. You know, it's psychopaths running around and fucking, you know, interrupting people's peaceful passage, and also you can extort money out of them and unjustly enrich themselves. Oh yeah, that's real safe. You know, well, the traffic stops are the most dangerous part of that officer's job. Well, it's also the most you know, dangerous part of that person's life that he's interrupting. You know, and who caused it? You know, they're fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's like that meme where it says that the officers, the people are supposed to be fucking fully calm and collective, while the officers are scared and shit with guns pointed at the people.
Yeah, right. And they're protecting us, huh?
Yeah. Can you hear me across the room? I'll give you a second.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you're there.
What my whistle? I think I'm gonna jump off of here though, man. I'm pretty tired. Been on here a few hours already.
Yeah, we better jump off of here.
I'll talk to you soon, man. You got my number?
Yeah, but I don't have any phone, and there's no phone. I have to do WhatsApp.
Okay. Send me that email.
Okay, I'll send you that on email and everything.
Yeah, cool. We'll take it from there, man. Nice talking to you, bro.
Yeah, nice talking to you too, Christopher Will.
I'll talk to you soon. Thanks everybody for who's in here.
I'm sorry everything that's happening to you, and I'm highly proud of you. You know.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. You know, it is what it is, man. I just gotta, you know, they ain't killed me yet, and
yeah,
got papers rolling. You know, they need to respond to my papers. They're withholding evidence of the crimes they committed. You know. Freedom of information law, you know, then they charge a fortune for it. They fucking block it. That's sick, man. Yeah, you got my email address, right?
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm gonna
All
call
right,
you.
have a good night.
All right, you too, man. Peace.